Perfecto. Damn, we already got our first guest. Okay, then. Let's get the show on the road. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, theys, thems, and MAGA, welcome into the live. Episode 67 of Defend the Indefensible, where Trump supporters come up and do what they do best. But I believe, and I'm going to call it, I'm not going to make a bet, but I'm going to call it. I believe we're going to have one genuine Trump supporter, at least one genuine Trump supporter who regrets their vote. Just one. Just one. And that's what I'm going to put it out in the air. What did the spiritual girlies say? Manifest. I'm going to manifest that shit. Okay. So we'll see what happens. If you are a Trump supporter who regrets your vote, request up in the box. You're the demographic of people I'd like to have a conversation with. I would love to know what exactly got you up off the MAGA plantation. And if you are a Trump supporter who does not regret their vote, you can request up in the box as well. And I can give you several reasons as to why you should. Let's start off with Romo here. Romo, did you vote for Trump?
I did.
And do you regret your vote?
No.
Why is that?
But I do disagree with things that the administration has done.
Yeah, sure. We can look at disagreements under all administrations, regardless of party lines. It's more so you're still standing on your support for Trump that I'm curious about.
Okay. Well, one of the reasons why I support Trump is because I agree that, 2020 hindsight being what it is, probably would have been better not to attack Iran. Iran has now taken control of the Strait. And if we just, leave Iran in control of the Strait of Hormuz, they will become an oil hegemon and control 20% of the world's oil supply. They'll become a center of world power. They'll make the GCC countries vassals of Tehran because they would not be able to do anything to upset Tehran because Tehran could just stop them from shipping their oil. And given all the times we have fucked with them, meaning like Operation Ajax, getting rid of Mossadegh, installing the Shah, the secret police, the Savak, and arming Saddam Hussein with chemical weapons that they used against the Iranians during the Iran-Iraq War. And given what we just did not too long ago, I don't think they're going to change their opinion about America anytime soon. So it would not be good for a world hegemon that doesn't like us to be in control of the Strait.
We're not here to make them change their position on us. I don't know why that would be a part of your goal. What it would take for that to happen in the United States.
Well, I'm just saying it's not going to happen. I'm not saying I'm advocating them. They change their mind. I'm saying even if I wanted them to change their mind, they're not going to do it because of the history we have with them for the past 40 to 50 years.
Yeah. Have we spoken before?
Maybe a while back. I don't think I've talked to you in a while.
Are you the guy?
I did talk to you, but it's been like months.
Are you the guy that said that we should just finish the job now that we're already there, even though we should have never started to begin with?
I've had this talk with other people. I don't think I've discussed it with you before.
Is that your position?
Repeat it. That I feel we should.
That we should finish a job in Iran and continue to obliterate them or attempt to obliterate them before they become this superpower controlling 20% of the world's oil.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far about obliterating them. I think we should. There's different options, of course. And obviously a negotiated settlement would be best. I don't want people to do that necessarily. But even a watered down JCPOA would be better than what we have now.
Yeah, I don't necessarily disagree with that. So why do you still support Trump?
Well, because we're in it now. Even if Kamala had been president right now and she would have made the same decision as Trump had made, and we'd be in the exact same situation. I'm just saying, my position would be the same. We have to
in your hypothetical
probably escalate and get control of the Strait of Hormuz because that is not in our interest for Iran to be in control of the Strait of Hormuz.
So again, I feel like I asked you this question for a reason, and then you just said no, not exactly. You rather diplomatic method. But then you just said we should.
Well, no, but I'm okay with escalating it. I don't think we need to go to the extent of obliterating them, but or like ending their civilization. That's what you're referring to.
Well, that's what the Trump administration has been advocating for. We have the insider report that shows that he was even talks about a general stopping him from wanting to go nuclear on the region.
Yeah, I don't. Who knows how credible those reports are? There are a lot of things that are said during war.
But have you ever heard of I think it goes right alongside the fact that he put on social media for the world to see that entire civilization will die. So I don't think it's too far-fetched to go someone who can say something like that would explore the option that would do just that.
Okay. Have you ever heard of TACO? The acronym TACO?
Trump always chickens out. That's correct.
Exactly. So I mean, I'm pretty sure he was just saying that as bluster or an
How
attempt
are we
to
supposed to know what he talked us
get
out
him to the
on versus what
negotiating
he
table.
wouldn't? How are we supposed to know what he would talk out on versus what he wouldn't?
Well, I mean, I guess in the end, only he really knows, right?
That's the problem.
Yeah.
So we can sit here and estimate what he's serious about, what he's just exaggerating or using hyperbole, but we ultimately don't know until it happens. And by then, in some cases, it could be too late. I would rather not take the risk of the President of the United States supporting more genocide than we already are with Israel.
Correct. Yeah. But I mean, if we're being honest, more Palestinians died under Kamala and Biden than they did under Trump. So you got to give them that.
I'm sorry, what kind of win do you think that is for Trump? Did Trump stop the
Oh,
shooting? Did Trump
you don't
reduce the
consider that
death?
a win that fewer Palestinians are dying?
I think it's a win for Palestinians that more of their lives are preserved. That is not a factor
Okay.
controlled by
Then that's
Donald
a
Trump at
okay. Well, I
all.
mean,
There's
all right.
less people to
So
blow up. The region's almost demolished. Over 60,000 Palestinians, mostly being women and children, dead. They don't have so much to blow up anymore. They have pretty much complete control over the region under this administration. Again, I don't know how that's supposed to be a compliment for Trump. He did absolutely nothing to contribute to the loss, the reduction of loss of life.
okay. I mean, if by that standard, I guess Kamala didn't either. So
I mean, we can literally say that they're responsible in
okay.
regards to arming Israel with offensive weapons, sure, but then that's just an American problem under either administration.
Okay. Okay. So are you gonna engage with what I said about Iran, or are you just gonna ignore that?
What did you want me to engage on?
My argument, the
I'm
one I've been
sorry.
making for the
Am I
past
supposed?
four
Did
or
you
five
want me to
minutes.
sit here and say that Iran is the good guys and we should just let them do whatever they want and whatnot? My position is simple. He made a
Well,
mistake going out there. We should pull out. We should go with
okay.
diplomacy and get something like a deal. You even said it yourself. Some version of a JCPOA, even if it's quote unquote watered down, would be better than anything else. I would agree with that sentiment.
Okay, but it sounds like you are not open to escalating the war,
Not in the
going back
slightest,
to
no.
the war. Okay, so I guess that's where I want you to engage. So you think we should leave Iran as the oil hegemon of the world?
No. But we're not
Well,
necessarily leaving them as such. They only took over the region because of what we did to them. There's no guarantee whatsoever that they would continue to hold up the Strait of Hormuz,
so
or
you're
better
aware
yet,
that the
that
10 point plan that they
they would continue to keep everyone restricted from it outside of maybe the U.S., Israel, and their allies. Everyone else
right,
was fine before it was completely closed. Once again, because of more U.S. aggression.
sure. So we're talking about the present and the future. So right, so you know that one of their demands for peace is that the United States recognize their control over the Strait of Hormuz. You know that, right? And that they're going to set up
I
a toll
don't know if the
to pay
recognition
for
matters. They
to
control
pay
it
for the
right
war
now.
damages that we inflicted upon them.
I have no
You know
problem
that's
with us
part of their
paying for
demands,
their
right?
damage that we've caused. I have zero problems with that whatsoever.
Okay, so that's right. So you want them to become an oil hegemon of the world.
No,
Well, that's what they're asking for.
no.
Yes, they are. Google it.
Recognizing their control of the strait, they already have control of the strait. I guess the
Yeah, I
recognition would be
agree.
the U.S. leaving them alone and stop continuing to attack them under the guise of now um, demolishing their control of the strait.
Okay, so again, so you're okay with Iran becoming an oil hegemon, controlling the Strait of Hormuz, deciding who gets through the
I'm okay with
strait and who
anyone
doesn't.
controlling the Strait of Hormuz, but Iran took over because of our aggression, so we have to
Okay,
pay for that.
I already agree with that. I think we would have been better off not attacking them if we can go back in time, but we're in it now. So
Cool. We
it sounds
started
like
it.
it
I
sounds
do
like
not think it would be
your
responsible for
position
us to
is
finish it.
it sounds like your position is, well, we shouldn't have fucked with them, so we should throw our hands up and walk away. It sounds like that's your
It's
position.
not throwing our hands up.
Well, you're giving up.
They put forward their deals, we put forward ours. We would continue negotiations, and we can even
Okay,
negotiate them out of having said control.
but my question is, assuming negotiations don't work out, that's obviously a negotiated settlement would be best, especially if we can get something that we weren't able to get on the battlefield. Obviously, that'd be best for the U.S. My question is, assuming negotiations fail, it sounds like your position is let's just leave and leave them in control of the strait.
Assuming a
My position is
negotiations
no.
fail,
We need to escalate.
different discussion about getting other countries involved to, I guess, open back up the strait, reduce Iranian intervention. But I still
Okay,
wouldn't
so
say
you are in favor of using
the
force.
Donald Trump would not be the president, and Pete Hegseth would not be the individual I'd want over those plans and those attacks in the slightest.
Well, they're going to
Because
be
they're all about
in office for the
lethality.
next.
They're all about
I mean, they're
demolishing.
going to. Right, but time is going by as we're speaking, right? And it's going to go by as in the weeks and months ahead. So things are going to be happening. So they are our presidents. They are. Pete Hegseth maybe will be. I mean, we don't have to like them, but you can be for America's interest and not like the people in front. Like I said, I would have the same position if Kamala was president, and we'd be in this situation. So
Except we
it sounds like you want a Democrat win at the expense of America's interest.
I'm sorry, you think the Democrats need Donald Trump to not solve the Strait of Hormuz problem to win an election? Because I would argue,
Well, it sounds like
the
you don't want
special
him to.
elections that we've been sweeping for the past year show differently. We're already going up.
I know, right? But it sounds like you're saying yes, we might need to get an agreement with other nations to go in and open up the Strait of Hormuz by
As their
force. I'm
last
assuming.
resort, then yes,
I don't think
we
you're
should
saying that
open
we're
up
going to go in there
discussions about
with presence.
involving the United Nations and others to do something about the Strait of Hormuz, the United States solely being responsible for said decision, because their plan is quite literally blow up, blow up, blow up, blow up, blow up with old intel that can involve schools and everything else, is not the best method going forward. We're just quite literally creating more negative sentiments between Israel and the U.S. It's not helping us towards getting anywhere close to a deal again.
The problem with
That's
your
my big
plan
plan.
about
Every
getting
single thing that we do going forward needs to be with the goal in mind of a deal, not their obliteration, not their whipping, nothing of that nature. Because that's what this all was based off of. That's why we went in there to begin with.
Okay. The problem with your idea that we get the UN resolution is that this has already been tried. I don't know if you don't remember this or you didn't pay attention. We tried to get the United States tried to get a resolution.
Yes, I'm aware of the Trump administration then begging the UN and other countries to do what they needed to do and defend their attack, and they said no.
Can I just finish my point? So we tried that already. We tried to get the UN to adopt a resolution authorizing the use of force to open up the Strait of Hormuz. But guess who vetoed it? China and Russia. So there is no diplomatic off-ramp.
Several
at the UN
countries
level.
did not want to then clean up after Donald Trump's mess with more aggression. Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's quite literally my point. They do not want to get on board with Donald Trump's
then how are we
method
gonna?
of
You said
clearing
we
the
could get a
strait,
UN
'cause he just
resolution.
wants them all to help the U.S. blow them up. Thank you, Shaya, for the money gun. I appreciate you.
You said we need to get a UN resolution. We're not going to get a UN resolution. China and Russia would block it, like they already have in the last month and a half. They did that.
Yes, they blocked it because Donald Trump just wants to blow them the hell up. He wants them to participate in his war of choice. That is not what they're for. I'm not when I'm talking about a resolution, I am not speaking on solely based off of offensive.
So what kind of UN resolution are you talking about then?
Again, more pressure from the other nations, and other ones can also meet and negotiate with Iran to work out this deal.
Okay.
So
again, it sounds like you don't want to engage with my argument.
I feel like I've been engaging with everything you've been saying this entire time. You just falling back on the point where if this doesn't work out, if this doesn't work out, if this doesn't work out, should we just let Donald Trump finish the job? My answer to that is no. This administration should never be trusted to escalate anything, because we've seen where it's gotten us so far.
You want Iran to become an oil hegemon of the world.
Again, this was some hypothetical where in the future they would choose to keep control of the strait, and they would take this money to do this and take this to do. Yeah, I'm aware of that. So again, they would already be, by your definition, the oil hegemon, and that would be our fault.
Okay, and we should leave it at, and you want to leave it like that.
I would explore every single diplomatic
negotiation.
action necessary.
I got that part. You repeated that.
And we can once we do that, maybe we can have a discussion about other forms of aggression.
So like
it should
in 5
never
years?
be under this administration.
Like in 1 year and 5 years?
Yeah, sure, if that's what it takes.
Oh, okay. Until a Democrat takes office.
Yeah, and a Democrat would have an infinitely better job at making a deal
well,
based off of history.
That's what I was. That's where I was.
Listen.
That's what I was getting at.
You're making this a party win. You're making this a party win. I don't give a shit if a Democrat or Republican does it. I'm just saying statistically, based off of history, a Democrat is going to get it done. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, got it. Okay, well, I mean, your position is clear. You just care about Democrats. That's it. Yeah. You don't care about America.
If you want to grossly misrepresent my argument, just by all means.
I mean, you literally.
Trump supporters request up in the box you, the demographic of people I'd like to have a conversation with. If you're over on the tube side, you can call the number on screen, 737-295-5321. Let's say Pete Ossoff, the Georgia senator, runs for the president of the United States in 2028 and wins. And then Ossoff's first plan is, let's go back to blowing them all the fuck up. I would disagree with that. And he's a Democrat. I'm not for aggression. John. What did I say? Did I not say John? John Ossoff is what I meant. What did I say? Pete? Did I say? I said Pete Ossoff? I was thinking of Buttigieg. Although he'd be a great candidate too. He has some things to work on, specifically with the black community, I think. But yeah, he would be a good candidate. Trump supporters request up in the box. You are the demographic of people I'd like to have a conversation with. If you're over on the tube side, you can call the number on screen, 737-295-5321. Buttigieg. That's what I said. Did I not say Buttigieg? Did I say Buttigieg? Jedge? Is it Buttigieg? Oh, okay, whatever. Buttigieg? Okay, I've mostly heard Judge. I've never heard Judge. Buttigieg. I'm just going to say Pete B. I'm just going to say Pete B. Pete B. I think Pete B would be all right. We're just going to go with that. Oh, man. With that being said, I don't know what it's going to take for you guys to understand this. We did not have to be here if it wasn't for the Trump administration. And any attempt that we could have made at making a deal is gotten harder and harder and harder and harder as the day goes by. Not because of their disdain for America, although that plays a role, but because of the Trump administration specifically. They don't like Trump. They don't like his cabinet. Anyone else at this point who doesn't have his tone has an infinitely better chance at making a deal with them than Trump. I don't care if it's a Democrat that gets the seat. In 2028, they will still be, statistically, more capable of making a deal, as they have in the past with Iran. That is my point. And if that's a Democrat win, then W Democrats. That is a fault of your side, not mine. That is it. My dog would be better. I don't necessarily disagree with you. That's some time we will never get back. Yeah, I mean... It's going to hurt. But then again, that's what happens when you vote for a clown who ran off of Joe Biden jacking up gas prices because of the Inflation Reduction Act, which passed after the peak of gas prices. I want to make that super duper clear. And then gas prices went down every month afterwards. And then you go into the Oval Office and you immediately start a war. You get what you vote for, right? Or 77 million of you got what you voted for. The rest of us are just paying the consequences. Unfortunately. A raw chicken cutlet would have been better. Make sure you guys continue to send your daily heart meets. Share out the live with your friends and family. Repost, add to your story. Double tap that screen till the heart bar gets full. Let's get the likes up to 50K and beyond. Let's knock out the little 1 cent gift goals for the live goals. Obviously, check out the links in the bio for the best ways to support the platform. Sold our reservation of oil to make it look good. Are you talking about Biden? Yes, he strategically sold it and got it back at a better price to bring down gas prices. W Biden. What am I missing? I defend the constitutional republic in which the progressives want to get rid of. I need you to substantiate that and shut the hell up. I'm not in the mood for chirpers today. I'm not in the mood for keyboard warriors today. I just want to know one way that progressives want to ruin the constitutional republic, which is a form of a representative democracy that we're in. I'm super curious. I'm super curious. Trump supporters request up in the box. You're the demographic of people I'd like to have a conversation with. If you're over on the tube side, you can call the number on screen, 737-295-5321. Mari, did you vote for Trump?
I did not get to vote for him, but I am a full MAGA.
Why?
I feel like what he's done for the country in his latest term, I mean, like, it's like no other president. I mean, it's just super unique, and like no other has done it like that.
I agree with you. No other president was stupid enough to try many of the things that Donald Trump has done to worsen this country.
I mean like that. I mean, like he had.
I don't care how you meant it. You're correct. No other president has done some of the things Donald Trump has.
So I'm correct. So I'm correct when I say that he had a great impact on America.
How old are you?
Is that what we're talking about? I am 19.
Date of birth?
11/28/2005.
I want you to do some quick math. You said November the 28th, 2005. Correct?
I'm sorry, bro.
Trump supporters over the age of 18 request up in the box. You're the demographic of people I'd like to have a conversation with. If you're over on the tube side, you can call the number on the screen, 737-295-5321. That tracks, actually. That tracks. That tracks. We have a growing populace of youth. I'm not going to get into the very specifics of what that youth looks like. I don't need to. You guys know what I'm talking about. Who can't do math. And of course, that demographic of people who are terrible at math think that Trump plus America equals good. That actually makes sense. That actually makes sense. I don't understand how you kids try to do this and you have like literal smartphones that you can use to at least double check this shit before you come up. You could have at least tried to lie. Like you could have planned this out before you requested up in the box. And also, thank you, Shauna, because I need to do a better job of doing age checks on these people. I need to do a much better job of doing age checks on these people. Brains are not developed enough to have these conversations. Yeah, well, yeah. I just think they know what their parents know. Better yet, we have to understand the growing number of just right-wing podcasters that are on YouTube and all these other spaces. And their stuff is pushed out to these kids. The stuff is pushed out to freaking me. I've done quite a bit of work to ensure that I don't see some of that shit in my feed.
God bless you.
But YouTube specifically is aggressive, especially as of late. Thank you, Doolittle, for the gift. I appreciate you. I've been getting a ton of MAGA stuff. Ton of MAGA stuff. Isn't this the same name?
Oh no, the other dude wasn't me.
Thank you guys for the gifts. I'm going to go ahead and reset it to another one. Continue to knock them out until we can get boosted out in the FYP. Trump supporters request up in the box. Trump supporters request up in the box. If you are a Trump supporter who regrets your vote, this live is a safe space for you. Maybe the actions in Iran, the full effects of the big beautiful bill, his attack on civil rights, his weaponization of ICE on American citizens and undocumented migrants alike who are afforded due process under the Constitution. Maybe all of that was just enough for you to say enough is enough. I don't think I'm for this anymore, in which case we can have a genuine conversation about what you can do moving forward with minimal judgment. Or you could be a Trump supporter who still thinks he's doing an exceptional job. You can be a Trump supporter who thinks that his actions in Venezuela was fantastic. Although this is something I find super interesting. We got all of this oil from Venezuela, allegedly. We made this amazing deal with them. The relationship is going super well. So the U.S. should be fine, especially if we're talking about being an isolationist country. Wouldn't there be an argument to be made that we actually wouldn't really care what happens with the Strait of Hormuz? Because Venezuela's like right there, we can get to processing that. Right? Isn't there an argument to be made that's like, we got this oil in Venezuela. We don't care what they do. These gas prices will be fine. I'm just saying. Anyway, if you're a Trump supporter who thinks he's doing an exceptional job, you can request up in the box or call the number on screen. I can give you several reasons as to why he isn't. I truly believe Bubba is Yahoo. Huh? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what that means. I have no idea what that means. You're only a Dem because of what your parents taught you and staying on the Democrat plantation. Oh, guys, who wants to tell them? Get up in the box and shut up. Who wants to tell them, chat? Who wants to tell them? I'm waiting for the first comment. Who wants to tell them? No, you guys got it wrong. I was MAGA. I grew up conservative and then I identified as MAGA. And it's because of that is why I can unequivocally say you guys are not so bright. Because I wasn't so bright. I am a Democrat. I'm just not the establishment Democrat. But I was MAGA. I was a Republican. Exactly. My parents would still, I would argue, conservative. They're just not, they don't vote. They don't give a shit about that. It's more Christian religious conservative versus politically conservative. They don't give a shit. I actually had a conversation with my mother and I'm trying to convince her at least to vote locally. She doesn't think the president shit matters as much, which is ridiculous, but whatever. But I'm actually getting her to consider voting locally to affect her taxes and stuff like that. So working on it slowly, gradually, starting to listen. 0 Republicans regret your vote. Yeah, I have a list here of all the Republicans I've talked to that regret their vote. So there's that. If you don't, tell me why. Tell me why. Thank you, Jesse, for knocking out that goal. I appreciate you. I'm going to go ahead and level these up to the little finger hearts. The little finger hearts that we have up on the screen here. Got somebody in the box. Continue to double tap. Let's get the likes up. Oh, we're doing fantastic on the taps today. That's what I love to see. Guys, let's get the likes up to 100K and beyond. Louise, did you vote for Trump? Or Lewis, did you vote for Trump?
No, I didn't.
Who did you vote for in the 2024 election? I was about to ask him a question, Shauna. It's all good. It's all good. You can come back up, I guess, but I'm curious as to why you got up in the box. It never ceases to amaze me how this sticker says Trump supporters regret your vote. There's like a clear picture of him on a podium right here. I don't know why non-voters are so thrilled to engage in political conversations with me. But sure. I do need to make that notification out for mods. We are going to be a bit more friendly to non-voters because we need more people to get involved as much as they vex me to my core. Those are conversations that we will allow occasionally. What was the biggest thing that pulled you out of MAGA? That's a good question. I'll answer it in a second.
Call from Amber.
Amber? Amber? Amber, I'm sorry. I heard when in the thing where you said your name, I heard someone in the background yell, "Hang up."
Yeah, that's my man. He just got home from work.
Sorry, that was funny.
I know. Because he recorded you saying hang up.
What? Why did he tell you to hang up?
He just got home from work.
Hey, let me ask him. Excuse me, sir. I promise you this conversation probably won't take long. I will be civil. You can have her for the entire weekend. She called in. If I can politely ask you to give her some agency to engage in this conversation, and then you'll have all the time that you want, bro. You'll have all the time that you want. Okay, I promise you. I don't want her, bro. I promise you. Okay. Did you vote for Trump?
Yes, I voted for Trump. I don't regret my vote either. It's a simple reason why.
Okay.
And there was no other candidate that was elected for you to vote for. The other person we had was Harris, who was not our incumbent president and was chosen by the Democratic side for the American people without holding a primary, without an emergency primary, because I know there's nuance. So I think that's why we have the red mandate across the country.
I wouldn't call it a red mandate based off of the special election we've held over the last year.
The closest thing to it was way back whenever we had Reagan and he won 49 out of the 50 states. I mean, Trump's pretty close there. He swept the country.
I mean, sure, he swept the Electoral College. That's undeniable. So Are you aware of how the DNC primary works?
The DNC primary, I know that our primary should be held with an American people's vote. I think that our system on both sides, now I'm not super Trump either, like my husband here. He is the super Trump can do no wrong. I tell him that he sounds like he's brainwashed. It's just true. I think that both sides are really radical. I can see the radicalness on both sides, and it's becoming way too normal to be way too radical. I think that what we need to do, I can't wait for Trump to be out of office so that we can have somebody else to just, so that the circus.
25 million people and we don't know? Okay.
No, I don't. I agree. I think you have to give Trump his flowers on the border. But I am excited for him to get out of office so that we can start fixing the problems that have arisen and been shown to the American people, like our checks and balances system that is not working the way it's supposed to. Nothing is working the way it's supposed to. We need to fix it.
I don't disagree with you. First and foremost, I want to say that you're a very special guest here. It's very rare that we have Trump supporting women call into the line, so you're absolute royalty here, and I will treat you as such. Secondly, in regards to the selection and the American people selecting Kamala Harris, the American people vote for our delegates, the Democrats on the delegates on the Democratic side. The delegates then in the process that we had that selected Kamala Harris, which we voted for, the American people per state, were the ones who went on to vote and select Kamala Harris to run as our primary in the 2024 election. When Kamala
Here's
Harris,
what I will say.
one second.
I have a
When Kamala
qualm
Harris
with both
opened up
because
the primaries for people to run against her, no one tried except one person. It wasn't a Democrat. It was an
I think that
independent.
should be illegal as well. I think also it needs to be made a law that it should be illegal to drop out of the running candidacy for a promised position in somebody's cabinet, like every Republican did to be in Trump's cabinet. That's insane. That's skirting the elective freedom of the American people. I don't like it. I think that we need to make laws to protect ourselves against it happening again.
I'm sorry. Who dropped out? Who dropped out of what for a seat?
Everybody dropped out.
Trump's firing him because he's getting things accomplished.
Donnie, keep talking about that. Everybody dropped out in the primary for a promised position to gain favor with Donald Trump, and I think it should be illegal.
That's not something that can be. I don't know how you would regulate that. Like someone running a
New laws.
race.
That's how. New laws.
I actually don't
ready to
even know
vote
if I
this
agree with that.
Passes ID one where we have to have an ID. Cool. Let's pass some new laws.
There's
Let's
no-
make it so that crap is illegal.
But there's no force or anything. It's literally just if you're running a campaign and a person decides, hey, if you want to drop out, you can. I can give you this seat. Like RFK, I guess, for example. He was running in the race. He got to talking with Trump. Actually, he reached out to Harris first, and Harris said no. But he got to talking to Trump, and Trump was like, hey, I can give you this position. He's like, okay, screw it. I don't want my race anymore. That's not illegal. I don't know why that would be illegal. That's why.
I think it should be. Because it skirted our, like after you get to a certain part and you're in the primaries, you are a candidate. We need some type of cutoff line somewhere where you can no longer drop out for a promised position.
So
absolutely
that
believe
your contention specifically is if they drop out and get a position, a position in the government.
Yes. Well, a promised position inside of their candidacy. Of course, the person has to win for that to happen, but that's pretty easy when all your competition drops out.
The thing about that is we would still have a Senate confirmation hearing. So it's not as if their position is guaranteed. We would still have members of both sides on like the Senate and whatnot that would decide ultimately on their confirmation. It's not just so you're going to get the seat. I mean, for the most part, you do based off of party lines. Yeah. But it's not always like a guaranteed thing. Not to mention the reason why a lot of people drop out of their races, regardless if they're going to get a different seat or not, is mostly about them losing. They look at the numbers, they look at the polling, they go, if I go up against this person, I'm not going to win. So if I bow out now, I have a better chance of getting this seat here, this position here. And that's not illegal. Not to mention you can't drop out
after a certain point. They need to make it illegal.
Thank you,
because
Ari.
of what all
you can't
of
drop out 45 days before the election. That is Article 1, Section 4. WRA.
Well, there you go. We need to make it. I don't know. I don't know. Something needs to be fixed. Anybody who's for Trump, and I can say I voted for him. I did. But anybody who's looking at our world right now and saying that this is good is in denial. Or, they just are. They're in denial.
Yeah, okay.
We need to fix it.
I'm not going to sit here and go back and forth with you on that one thing. I think it's strange. I don't think it makes any sense, but so be it. You don't like, I guess, people basically getting cozy positions for dropping out. Regardless, that is not something that Kamala Harris was promised, and that's not what happened in the race. She was the vice president of the United States. It is her job upon taking it to become the president of the United States or step up after the president of the United States if certain things arise. The way he dropped out, the time he dropped out, did not allow for a full primary. And like you mentioned, an emergency primary, there were options that could have been explored. I believe there's even reports of Obama discussing that internally, but the timing wasn't looking good. And then when Kamala Harris invited everyone else to get involved in the race, no one tried except a independent candidate, which was Marianne Williamson. And per the rules, because she dropped out, I believe, a couple weeks prior, she couldn't get back in. So that wasn't an option in this race. So Kamala Harris stepped up. Someone else is calling.
Oh.
So with that being said, the American people did select her. They selected her when they voted for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris as the vice president. And then we would have selected her in the delegates. I, for one,
they didn't. The DNC selected Kamala Harris.
The DNC selected Kamala Harris per the delegates.
But then there was no primary election. There was no opponent that ran against
open
her.
primary. Yes,
selected.
Again, that was their fault.
I do.
I think that's the point that you're missing here. No one tried to run against her. You do understand that, right?
Yeah, everybody dropped out on both sides.
There was no dropping out.
The primary election was held, by the way.
Again, there
Let's
was
not forget that part.
no dropping out. No one else tried.
Yeah. That's insane. Something's wrong with our country. We need to fix it.
Well, you have to ask
the incumbent president was going to run
Buttigieg
again.
or
so we
Buttigieg.
thought Joe Biden was going to run.
Pete
What
G.
should have happened is we should have held an emergency election. Because in reality, what happened is that we expected the incumbent president, Joe Biden, again to run for office, and instead the DNC handed us Kamala Harris.
Okay.
Without
I feel like you're responding to things that I've already clarified. So I'm just going to say this.
Clarified a lot.
I want to say this again, and I really hope you're actually listening to what I'm saying and not just listening to respond.
You sound very far away.
I sound far away?
A little bit, yes.
I don't know why that's happening. Could be just another thing. So again, we selected first and foremost, we selected Kamala Harris, whoever voted for Joe Biden. You would have also voted for Kamala Harris to step up when the president doesn't. On top of that, we selected the delegates. The delegates are who the American people vote for. And those delegates went on, over 3,600 of them, to vote for Kamala Harris and certify her thing in the election. I'm forgetting the terminology right now. She then invited Democrats to run against her. I believe this was a little bit before the DNC, right before the DNC took place. No one else entered. So I find it difficult to sit here and say she was selected and it was intentional to discourage anyone else, blah, 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 when Kamala Harris said, come, challenge me, race against me in the 107 or less days that we have. And then everyone else looked at the race, they looked at their odds and said no. So that's not her fault that these other Democrats didn't have the balls to run against her. And I'm surprised. I believe some of the run-ups was Pete G, Gavin Newsom, what's his name, was considering it. Josh Shapiro, the governor of Pennsylvania. None of them tried.
Do you feel like Gavin Newsom would do a good job at running the country? I think he's like the equivalent of a Trump, but for the other side.
I don't like Gavin Newsom.
Yeah, he's not great.
I would not equate him to Trump, but I don't disagree with you. I don't think he's necessarily the best candidate.
I don't think Trump's the best.
So with that being said, I would more so concern yourself with Kamala Harris's policies versus the selection process, which was legal and legit.
I disagree with how it was done. Although I hear what you're saying. I remember it happening. I remember it being announced. I remember looking at it and going, that's insane. We didn't have a primary. He was not the incumbent president. I understand the situation's nuanced, but she shouldn't have been able to have been chosen, or people didn't run against her, whatever you want to say.
Well,
It's
we can
insane
put that
it's
on the
happening on
107
both
days she
sides.
was
We
left with.
need
Right?
to. I,
What is your issue with Kamala Harris specifically?
It's not just Kamala Harris. It's skirting the American people's choice to vote. And they did it on both sides, on Republican and Democratic side.
I don't know.
And people aren't getting upset that their vote is being taken away.
I don't know how they skirted Republicans with Trump. People wanted Trump. People
because everybody
picked Trump
dropped out
over
for
everyone
Trump.
else.
Everybody dropped out.
That was
Same thing.
that was their choice. They weren't kicked out.
Oh, they dropped out, just like you said.
So
It's
that
crazy.
was their choice.
I don't think it was correct. I think it
So that's
skirts the American freedom, like I said before.
not me defending Republicans.
Ban 10
That is
goes
a
down all day long
Republican
on the same
candidate
thing.
issue.
Like
If it was something along the lines of, hell, you can try to make the thing of like, oh, Bernie was pushed out by the DNC in 2016. If it was something like that in 2024, where Republicans just said fuck everybody but Trump and pushed other candidates out, that's a conversation we could have. But that's not what happened. Republicans chose to drop out because they didn't have a chance against Trump because the people wanted Trump. Thank you guys for the follows. So you're mad at other people for, once again, not sticking it to these other candidates, and that's a them problem, not even a Trump or Harris problem.
But I mean, at least we held primaries on the Republican side.
But you just
I mean, there
complained
were
about
primaries.
people dropping out.
There were people that dropped out. Everybody dropped out so that Trump was the person to win. But
Okay.
we had the primaries still.
So you said there
Where
was
you
no
could-
other candidate. There was another candidate. You don't like the process.
There's a
That's
bunch
fine,
of other
but they were
candidates
there
that all
and they
dropped
had.
out. It's basically
I'm talking about
Trump's
Democrats. I'm
cabinet
talking
now.
about Democrats. I'm talking about Democrats. I'm not talking about Republicans right now. The other candidate was Kamala Harris. What was your issue with her positions?
With what?
Her positions, her policy, her campaign, her idea for the
With
country.
her policy.
W guys for
My biggest
100K
issue
likes.
with Kamala Harris was that she, one, didn't tell the American people that Joe Biden was having an actual health crisis, and she's the vice president.
What was the health
It's
crisis?
very clear there was some weird nuance going on in that situation there, to be fair.
Yeah, he was old.
Her policies, frankly, I didn't look at them. I tend to be way more conservative in my policies. So I don't think she's going to have much for me. Just saying. Trump doesn't have that much for me. Fuck. I think Trump's a Democrat. And my husband would kill me for saying that. He was a Democrat all his life. All of a sudden he's a Republican?
Yeah. So you voted blindly?
What?
You would have voted blindly. You
I
didn't
didn't
quite
vote
know
blindly.
what you were voting for. You just didn't like Harris.
Oh, I wasn't going to vote for her. Yeah.
So then
I
you
wasn't.
voted
She got on
blindly.
national TV and was asked what she would do different than Joe Biden, and she looked at the American people and said nothing. I would do nothing different.
That was not her answer to that question.
That was her answer to the question.
It literally was not.
She could find no wrongdoing in the administration at all. That's insane. When
She
you're
wasn't
grading your own
asked,
paper,
what
you
do
can
you
find
think
things
Joe
wrong with the
Biden did
administration.
wrong? She was asked if there's anything that she would do differently. Those are two different questions. But really quickly, W's in the chat to Ari for the $10 Venmo. I don't know if you ask, has she ever voted in a Democratic primary? If not, her points are irrelevant as fuck. Yeah, we're I don't think she was super familiar with it. And the RNC and the DNC do have two different sets of rules. W's in the chat to you, Ari. Guys, the best way to support the platform is going to be the links in the bio. Whether you wanted to say hi to my cute face, support the stream, or do whatever, you may check out the Cash App, PayPal, and Venmo. Hector Talks with 2 R's on Cash App and Venmo. PayPal, Hector Pal with 2 O's and 2 R's. If you're over on the Tube side, you may send a super chat or a super sticker. Back to you. So
It's like a real life commercial.
it's promotion. Gotta push the thing. So you have an issue with Harris because clearly you said you just wouldn't vote for Harris.
I had an issue with the Biden administration. Now, I think that most of our policies, I think that the right place is somewhere in the middle, which is why I tend to be more moderate, because we wouldn't have our programs like Medicaid, like anything that we have in this country without the left. So I think that it's a good balance of both that keeps our
Kamala
country
Harris was a very moderate Democrat, a pretty moderate Democrat. Definitely
Oh,
more
no.
left in certain fashions, but ultimately she would be more so of a centrist, much
I
like
feel
Joe
like if
Biden.
they're gonna chunk that much money into somebody's, I just don't think it should be her.
So I want to go back to the View. Her question to that, her answer to that question wasn't that I would do absolutely nothing. She said nothing particularly comes to mind. She followed up with the accomplishments of the administration, and actually, at the end of the interview, she did give an answer onto something that she would do different. Now, you can say that wasn't the best answer. You can say that you wanted to hear something more precise. You can just straight up say that you wanted to hear her criticize something and go vastly different from Joe Biden. But she stood on her record. She followed up with the fact that she is not Joe Biden. And then she ran off of her platform, which, per your words,
And then she
you
picked
were
her
unaware
candidate, her
of.
person to run with her as Tim Walz, who ended up being the governor of one of the biggest federal schemes going on in Minnesota. Like, we all figured out what happened there. I just don't think it was a good choice. I don't think that
Yes,
everybody
that
should follow
fraud
the
that you're
Democrats should hang
referencing,
their hats
that
on
fraud that
Harris.
you're referencing took place under his governorship, and it was prosecuted under his governorship. Trump just took the 2022 cases, specifically with feeding our futures, and then decided to bring it to light to use it to go against Somali people. I don't. Are you sitting here acting as if isn't fraud in every state?
In every state, yeah, absolutely.
So Minnesota, being a blue state, having more funding for certain programs specifically compared to other ones, red states particularly, by default is going to have more fraud by the numbers because they have more things to defraud.
I'm
It's
going
a
to say
separate
this.
conversation about finding a way to
I feel like no
address
matter
it.
how much you put lipstick on a pig, it's a pig.
I
Like,
don't know
when you
what
do
makes
bad at your
tomorrow to
job, you
pig.
don't get promoted to vice president. You don't get promotion when you're not doing well.
You can't
That's
say
not
that
how
someone's
it
doing bad
works.
at their job because their departments, the departments in their state were defrauded. Because again, by that logic, every single governor would be doing a bad job. There's fraud in Texas. Here in
So
Texas, we had
I'm not saying, I'm
huge,
saying there was massive amounts of fraud, but when you're doing a job like
and it
that
was prosecuted.
and
It was
it's
handled.
not going well, you don't get promoted and say, hey, take on more. They already messed you over with what you had. So here, have the American people.
They would have first off, they would have, after the prosecution in 2022 of Amy Bach, the white woman who actually headed all of this, not the Somalis that worked under her. The prosecution started then. The restructuring of
I
those
feel like you're the
departments
only
started
person
then.
that said Somalis. Like,
Yeah, a
but
lot of people keep saying
you're probably
Somalians.
also reading the chat, and they're probably saying that a lot.
No, I just know how to say what they are. All of this took place, again, under his governorship. It was prosecuted, it was handled, and the restructuring of those departments and the oversight took place under it. The Trump administration decided to weaponize this because of Somalis and now make it seem like it's a thing that's currently happening. He has the likes of Nick Shirley, which is an independent journalist for stupid people, going around knocking on doors of businesses that don't even meet the qualifications for the Medicaid certification to get state funding, and then say that they're fraudulent because people don't answer the door for him. It's the fraud that's taking place. Literally, the Trump administration can post every single day of a case of fraud in the state of Minnesota that wouldn't make Minnesota a corrupt state. That's enabling it. We can do the same thing if he put the same attention on Oklahoma, where we recently just had a huge case of Medicare fraud. In Texas, where we just had someone scamming on gift cards. Tennessee, we just had a recent one in regards to farmers fraud, farmers insurance. Every single state you can look up right now, and within the last 3 days to a week, you will find fraud in that state.
So let me just ask you a weird hypothetical question, okay? You go, you get your taxes done. You pay your accountant to do your taxes. The very next year, you get audited. Are you going to go back to the same tax accountant?
No, I think
No.
it was
Okay, so we don't want
different.
Tim Walz to run our freaking country. We don't want it. He didn't do a good job. Biden didn't do. He didn't do much of anything, but he had dementia, the poor guy. So I don't think Harris did a bad job as vice president. I don't think she did much as vice president.
What state are you in?
I'm in Florida.
Okay. Interesting that you mentioned Florida, actually. Hi, Ari. This is my friend
Hi.
Ari.
Oh, hi, ma'am. So
Sorry.
real quick, I just wanted to you said something that I'm actually in accounting. Most people absolutely would go back to the same accountant if you got audited, because it's random by the IRS. They randomly will audit people's tax returns, regular civilians that threw up no red flags, because that's part of their job within the IRS. And so everyone is subject to audit at any point in time, including you, even if you file your taxes normally every single year. And most, if you go to a good CPA, they offer you audit protection up to a certain dollar amount if they find any issues. So you would
If you pay the
absolutely
$400 in advance, yeah.
yeah, which I'm just being clear, like, and I'm being clear, most people would still go back to the same accountant because there are no issues.
I feel like
In
you're
reality,
missing
that
the
accountant-
point. Like, I didn't mean it.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
If your point is you don't go back to the same person that made a mistake, aka with Tim Walz, you're
or
using the
somebody
wrong
who's doing a
equivalence.
bad job. Yeah, it's like you don't
You're-
have
you- you're
somebody,
using-
not
no,
that he's doing a bad job.
no,
I'm not looking at
no,
his
the
policies. I'm not
accountant
looking at this.
doesn't-
I'm looking at the actual crime that has happened under his administration, and I'm going, oh, I'm not going to give him more that he can mess up. Like, obviously he needs to tighten some stuff down before he gets more.
Thank you for that point, Ari. The audits wouldn't necessarily be based on the accountant fucking up. So there's that.
No.
Not to
It's
mention,
random.
if we're following your line of logic, which is that fraud happened, and because it happened here and it was broadcasted in this way that they're doing a bad job, then we wouldn't have any of the governors that we currently do based off the fraud in their state, such as
I'm
Florida,
about to lose my
Oh my God,
Oklahoma,
yeah.
Texas.
A $67 million Medicaid fraud associated with Ron DeSantis out of Florida. Yeah, it's so great. And then even the previous governor prior, Rick Scott, who's now a seated senator, was $631 million in restitution to pay back to the United States government because of his company and their Medicare fraud.
And that's directly
That's
related
insane.
to the people
That's
who
so
govern the
much
state.
from the American people. That's a big number.
And they're both Republicans, and one is currently seated in Congress because individuals in Florida see, oh, Republican next to the name and say, I'm going to mark that box. Doesn't matter if they did anything wrong, as long as it's not a Democrat.
What we need to do is, like I said, we need to be more moderate and we need to fix the flaws that we've been shown throughout this administration
I don't know
and the
why you
last
think moderate isn't a solution. Do you think we need to be moderate on every position?
well, I'm not, but that's why we're allowed to disagree. We fundamentally disagree on a few things.
Also, if we talk about vice presidents being bad picks, then we can talk about J.D. Vance and how he defrauded his state.
Oh, I think J.D. Vance is awful. Like, you're not
But that
gonna
didn't
hear
stop
me
you
on
from
that
voting
one,
for
so,
Trump. Do you get the point that I'm making?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I can't wait for the orange guy to be out of office so that we can start fixing these things as Americans. That's what we ultimately need to do. Just remember, violence picks up where conversation ends. But my husband is begging me to go off the phone, so I gotta let you guys go.
I appreciate the conversation.
Thanks.
You have a great night.
You as well.
You too. Also, you sound like you should have voted for a independent candidate because you didn't like either of them all of a sudden now. I feel like that's not the case.
Did everyone forget who J.D. Vance was? So Tim Walz bad. Tim Walz bad because a bunch of fraud happened in his state years before that was prosecuted and handled that Trump decided to bring to light as if it was a new thing. But then J.D. Vance, who called him Hitler, Trump Hitler, J.D. Vance, who put some weird shit in his, what's his name of his book? Hillbilly Eulogy. J.D. Vance, who defrauded his state. J.D. Vance, who is, in my personal opinion, a rambling buffoon who could just do it better than Trump. We like that guy, or better yet, maybe not like him, but we don't dislike him enough to vote for the opposing side, whose one crime, I guess the biggest crime, is you didn't have the primary that you wanted because Democrats chose not to step up and to some degree, and Joe Biden failed us. I can acknowledge that. And Tim Walz had fraud in his state. It's very, very interesting argument.
Joe
Very
Biden
interesting
could have
argument.
done so much more and didn't. Like, I think that's my biggest pet peeve from that is so much more could have been done and it wasn't. and tons and tons of missed opportunities. But whatever. I came in through half of that, I think, and the accounting one, I'm like, that's not how audits work. And that shows that she's never been audited before. And I was just trying to tell her that that's not a good equivalent.
When audit went into my head, I wasn't thinking of it the right way. I'm just like, yeah, if you get audited, it's because your shit's wrong.
No, it's just random. And if you want to even talk about freaking audits at the IRS, then why is he laying off more people from the IRS so that audits aren't being conducted? And we've missed out on, I think Forbes did a report on it, about $461 billion worth of potential income from audits not occurring. And that's just on average, that's just on citizens, right? For people underpaying. If you look at corporations, it's in the trillions on how much missed income money, like tax income that we're missing, because they don't have the manpower to audit them. Precisely. But then Donald Trump wants to abolish the IRS, or whatever. They literally touted around that the Inflation Reduction Act hired 30-something thousand new agents to tax Americans. Y'all remember that? I do, and they still don't understand that it's 30,000 over 10 years to cover those who are retiring, and they only get hired once people have hit that retirement button. And their retirement, as far as I'm aware, with the government is similar to military, where you can mark that you plan to retire up to a year in advance. 6,000%. Someone said, "What is the moderate position of genocide?" 6,000%. But to be fair, oh my God, she did answer the question. No, she did say no when I asked her if you think we should be moderate on everything. To be fair, but I don't know. All these people that want to play middle ground now, or purple revolution, whatever we call it, I find it interesting how many of them don't talk about the fact that we're literally in a midterms election year. And then you can kind of put some of those positions to the test, especially if you're a true independent, a true third party person. Now would be one of your best chances of voting for those candidates on the local level. So I don't know. Why would you do something like that? Why would you vote for the Democrat in Tennessee 5 that's raised $1.8 billion? Sorry, I'm looking at things on the FEC, so I'm in a TISM moment. So, oh, good. Trump supporters request up in the box. You're the demographic of people I'd like to have a conversation with. If you're over on the tube side, you can call the number on the screen, 737-295-5321. If you regret your vote or don't. Yeah, I actually, sorry, Jesse typed this in the comments. I sent you a voice note in Discord with Pete's name.
Pete Buttigieg.
Buttigieg.
Pete Buttigieg.
Pete Buttigieg. Thank you. I'm going to fuck it up again.
Well, next time you want to just say his name, you just go there and hit it. Boop. Buttigieg.
I'm just sorry saying Pete G. I'm going to say Pete G. Why do you, until I get it right.
G. Why G? It's B. It's
Did I say G again? Oh my God. It's B. Pete B.
No, don't say it like Trump. Buttigieg. No, it's Pete Buttigieg.
I've never heard him say it. I don't ever want to. That sounds like it'll make my ears bleed.
I remember seeing all the signs of, or all the suggestions of when Harris was campaigning and had a picture of VP, and they were like, it should be Pete, because people could, kids could change the sign to hairy butts.
That's terrible.
It was terrible. So funny. Have you not seen that? Did you miss that? In 2020? I'm going to find this.
I missed that one entirely. If you're not following me, hit that follow button in the top left corner. We are live every Saturday after 3 p.m. CST and randomly throughout the week. Also, make sure we do a couple other things while we're here. I don't have to bully y'all for the taps today. The taps are doing fantastic. fantastic. Thank you guys so much for actually engaging. I don't know what it is, but I appreciate it. But continue the tap at your own leisure because you're doing an exceptional job. Share out the live with your friends and family. Also repost and add the lives to your story. Let's get some more people in here. Let's knock out the little kitty cats there. I don't know what their specific names are. We need about 71 more of those. Click on my name in the top left corner. Those of you who want to support the stream, do the little cute gifts in the gift gallery. Since we're back in the C League, I actually care about it. B League is impossible. It's impossible to clear the gift gallery in B Leagues, at least for me. So those of you who want to do that here, feel free to do so. Knock out all the grayed out gifts. And then, of course, send your daily heart music if you haven't already. Please make sure you're taking care of Ari while she's here hanging out with us. Her links are also available in the bio. But the best ways to support the platform, those of you who choose to do so, is going to be in my link tree in the bio of this account or the description of the YouTube live, whether it's to follow me on all the social media platforms such as YouTube that we're doing streaming to right now, or Instagram where I post the videos I put up on here. Joining the Discord community, to which we're over 700 members strong. You can also subscribe there, but the Discord is free. Getting yourself some merchandise off the merch shop at hectorshops.com with 2 R's, or donating directly to the links in the bio. If you just want to send a message, say hi to my cute face, or support the platform and everything that we do. Oh my God, situational Tourette's is so fucking terrible.
Words are difficult.
Words are hard. Those of you over on the YouTube side, make sure you hit the like button on the stream, subscribe, turn on notification bells, and if you want to support, you may send a super chat or a super sticker.
There was something I was going to say, and then my brain blinked when I said that, but I can't find the hairy butt thing, but I remember seeing that video last year, and it was so funny.
WD.
Not last year.
WD. Thank you so much for sending Ari the hearts. Hi, friend, is what the gift is called? Oh, the kitties? Yes, got you. I mean, it just looks like a kitty, so I say kitty.
Kitten eating? Oh, no, it's this one.
That one right up there.
Hi, friend. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't understand why you guys do this. Like, literally, they kept calling in when we had the guest up. They requested up when we had the guest up. And then the second they are gone, everyone loses their balls. Isn't that fucking weird?
Yeah. They only want to talk when they hear someone else talking. Oh, I remember what I was going to ask you, but it's more of an off. Well, do you ever clear out people that never got verified in your server?
I need to start, honestly, because I still have people. I have a role that you have to pick, and then there's a bunch of people in there that haven't, and I think I'm going to have to go through there and remove them.
I did it the other night, and I was like, sorry to everyone that can see all of it for the spam on who was removed. And I basically performed a rapture of 70 people. So
I was about to say, last I looked at your shit, you were going up on 900 people, right?
I had just passed 830, and then I raptured 70 of them. So I'm a little bit less than that. But yeah, I was like, mass rapture. Sorry, guys.
You got to do it to protect the server. I had a troll or two try to get into mine, so I get it. People are weird. Do we don't share religion that people still like the older gens did? It's your soul.
Also, there's 400 people in here. PSA to all of our good friends: if you have an Amazon wish list in your bio, take it down. You can message me for more information.
Not people testing their role. Guys, if you're in the Discord and you see everything in the Discord, you have the appropriate roles. You're good.
Yeah, if you see all the channels, you're typically good, guys.
If you do not see the channels, that means there's an error. Just tag me. Just tag me at Hector Talks or one of the mods. That will be their bishop or rook roles, and we'll get that sorted out for you. But yeah, double check that, because I'm tired of people messaging me going, yo, I can't see anything. And I left this long page of instructions in there. It's ridiculous.
Instructions are woke.
Instructions clearly are woke, and y'all don't like woke. It's weird. It's absolutely weird.
Chickens are woke now too, so I expect to see no more Republicans eating chicken. You can only eat beef.
WBA. Oklahoma's been helping ICE. Oh yeah, I mean, most red states have been helping ICE. They've been going, ICE, you can do whatever you want in red states. It's actually crazy.
Yeah,
what I do find interesting is I don't think a lot of the assaults and whatnot that we've seen have been coming out of red states. So it's almost as if, for some reason, these ICE agents are treating us differently in blue states. I don't know.
I mean, because they're only going... Well, that's not true. Ruben Martinez was killed in Arizona or Texas?
I believe it was. I want to say it was Texas.
Yeah,
I
so
want to
that
say that
was
one
in
was Texas. Yeah, we've had a couple in red states. I'm saying, in terms of the number of cases, it just seemed to be happening in these other places.
yeah.
Yes, Texas, man.
I don't even see your message request. Hold on.
W's in the chat to Phil for the $2 Venmo. To further what Ari was saying about government early retirement, typically a benefit is that civilians can accrue sick leave with no cap. That sick leave can allow you to retire early based on the hours accrued. Got it. That makes sense. W's to you, Phil. W's to you, Phil. Guys, best way to support the platforms are the links in the bio if you'd like to send a donation and keep this show going. I'm sorry about your kitty, Amanda. Your cat, your actual... I hope your cat has a good time at the vet. Thank you guys for sending your daily armies.
That's never fun.
I hate the stereotype, but the alleged shooter lived at home with his parents in his 30s. I'm not gonna shut up, Jordan. I'm not gonna. Here's the thing: when it comes to people being judged for living at home, I don't think that is something going forward that ever should be used to mock someone. I mean, it's different when it's, I guess, by choice. When you talk to those basement dwellers, Ari, I'm not sure if you encountered that one dude. He's some white kid. He comes up on panels and he talks about he wants this tax cut, he wants this thing, he wants this that, but his mom's rich. He's living in her basement, literally, and she takes care of everything. And he's talking about lazy people who don't contribute to the system. So like that guy, I clown him all the time because I'm like, you're literally a bum living at home doing absolutely nothing. On one hand, hey, if your parents have generational wealth and they afford you that lifestyle, more power to you. That's the goal, right? That's what you want for your kids. But at the same time, you don't get to shit talk other people, specifically in regards to SNAP, where the majority of people on those benefits are working full-time jobs. You don't get to say that they're lazy because they need assistance. In this economy where wages aren't keeping up with inflation. That's not how that works. It's weird. In this freaking economy, most people have roommates or they're staying at home much later in age before they leave. We're seeing that reflected even in the age that you're having children, the age that you're choosing to get married. Like these are all more so factors of the cost of living versus other things. I got out at a young age because I couldn't stand my parents. I didn't want to leave the house well, I did, but not for the right reasons when I left my parents' house at 19. I didn't want to do that shit. It's expensive out here.
Yeah, shit's crazy. But no, I don't think I don't think I know who you're talking about. But I don't even know the last time that I platformed someone on TikTok outside of a friendly. So.
Oh, that's wild. I left at 17. I ran at 17. Yeah. See that? That shouldn't be right. Statement. The fact that people can make statements like that, minimum wage is still at what? $7.25.
$7.25. But I gotta drop back down. I appreciate you having me up for the accounting thing.
All good. Appreciate you coming up.
All right.
Guys, if you're not following Ari, make sure you give her a nice follow. She is also live at least 3 days a week. She also has her YouTube available. All of her information is available. Is going to be in the links in the bio. We actually just co-hosted this past Wednesday, and it was fun. So make sure you're following her for all the good stuff.
Heck yeah.
Bye.
Wow.
Alrighty. Now you guys have even less reasons to be chicken. Okay? It's just me now. Trump supporters. If you are a Trump supporter who is growing more and more tired of this administration and its actions, its gaslighting, its promises of a quite literally ruined future for democracy, you may request up in the box. This is a safe space for you to come up and express exactly why you regret your vote. Make no mistake, there is a growing number of Trump supporters that regret their votes. I can confirm this via his recent polling numbers, not only from Democrats and moderates, but from Republicans as well. Specifically Black Republicans. That was a recent piece of information that I thought was interesting. Yesterday, we talked about the only 4 Black House Republicans in Congress are all retiring. 2 of them specifically trying to go for a different seat. But as of 2027, unless other ones win, there's only going to be 1 Black man Republican in the Senate, and that's going to be, is it Rick or Tim Scott? Why do I always get them mixed up? The fucker in Florida. I think it's Tim. They'll never pick him Scott. Yeah, Tim. They'll never pick him Scott. He's going to be the only Black Republican in the Senate. Meanwhile, Democrats have 62 and 4 in the Senate. Crazy. Crazy. So I think we're seeing the numbers reflect. I think we're seeing in the amount of people that are a lot more quiet about their support for Trump or their vote for him more so. Even like the last lady that we just spoke to. Even her. She quite literally wasn't happy about voting for Trump. Her shit was misguided, but she wasn't happy about voting for Trump. I don't know what was happening with her husband. That was kind of funny. But they didn't want to do it. There's a lot of people who don't like Trump. All we're saying is this is a perfect year as ever to get him up out of that seat, or attempt to get him up out of the seat and get the people who support him, the people who strengthen him, the people who vote on these resolutions to continue funding to Israel, to continue funding for the Iran war, continue his actions or attempted actions in Venezuela, allegedly to fight terrorism in Nigeria, so on and so forth. We can put a stop to a lot of that if we get the right people in the right seats. This is the year to do so. So if you're one of those people who are growing more and more with those sentiments, you may request up. Or if you're a Trump supporter who does not regret their votes, if you don't like the actions of this, or you do like the actions of this administration, if you think he's doing a fantastic job, if you think I'm a liberal who's not telling the truth about the accomplishments of this administration, then you're more than welcome to tell me. Because what I am not going to do at this point is entertain more of you keyboard warriors, bro. It's not happening.
Call from
Patrick.
Patrick, you're on the line. Did you vote for Trump?
Hey, brother. How you doing?
Doing all right. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for asking. I am a Trump supporter. I just wanted to ask you a few questions, and maybe you can ask me some too, I'm sure. Hold on 1 second. Sorry. Okay. Thank you very much. Sorry, that was my kid. You still there, brother?
Yes. Thank you,
Hey,
Delulu,
is
for
there
the sheep.
anything at all about Trump's policies that you like? Have you done anything that you like?
There's some good things that he's done. I thought it was good that he got Mark Foley out from Russian captivity at the beginning of his second term last year. I thought the executive order that he passed, directing agencies to take a closer look at Ticketmaster for their monopolization and price gouging of tickets was a fantastic thing. I think that's a growing problem in the United States.
Copy.
That's two things I can think off the top of my head. I can't.
Is that
think
your
of much
phone
else.
beeping like it's busy, I think?
Someone is
Just
calling.
wanna make sure it's not mine.
Everything goes through this, yeah.
No worries. Is there anything else? Like I don't know. Let's see. Let's get a little touchy. Like, how do you feel about abortion?
I feel like I can't have one.
Yeah, you can't have an abortion. Do you think abortion is moral?
Yes.
It is moral for a woman to have an abortion.
Absolutely. And I think we have
And
laws.
can you tell me
will
why you
protect.
think that?
I think we have laws to keep abortion moral. Established in the point of viability. I think restrictions to it outside of that point and medical emergencies is detrimental and immoral because we're taking away not only bodily autonomy from the mother, I won't say premium, but I guess the major body or person or figure over a fetus, but then we're also putting women in emergency situations to where they can die if they don't get the necessary health care.
Yeah, so, we can go back and forth about that, but I believe that is a huge lie from the left. You cannot actually cite a doctor. Like, if you look up right now, there's no doctor that's denying a D&C for like a passed away baby or maybe an ectopic pregnancy. Let's go to Alabama where abortion is completely illegal at any stage. They're not denying ectopic pregnancy removal. They're not denying D&Cs for children who have passed in the womb. It's an absolute lie. There's no doctor who's not going to perform a D&C just because it's illegal to have an abortion because they know that they're two different things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So in
there's
terms
no
of a
women who are
specific case of a
dying because they
doctor
can't have
saying,
an
no,
abortion.
I'm not going to give you even an emergency abortion and the threat of your life being taken away. No, I cannot cite that case, but I can cite many where the doctors were hesitant and did not give women the proper care in time as they were experiencing some of these issues, which led to their death.
The death of the mother?
That's correct. I can give you an
Okay,
instance
because
of
they
women
weren't
quite
allowed to
literally
have an
being used
abortion,
as an
it killed the
incubator
mother.
for a fetus.
Do you know that women die during childbirth, right?
Yes, I'm aware of the fact that they
And-
died during childbirth.
and they tie these two things together to make you emotional and to make you a proponent for abortion.
These
Somebody
women
who's
didn't
for
just
abortion.
no, hold on. These weren't women that chose to take their babies to full term and then died in the process and then took that and said this person died because they were denied the proper care. That would be a completely separate thing. It was in the event where women needed an abortion, a medical abortion, or wanted it, but they were restricted because of the point of viability laws and being so different in red states. And then they're
Can you
gone.
can you do me a favor and be a little more specific? Like, how did they die?
Whatchamacallit? There is Amber Nicole Thurman. She is one of the good examples. There is
but how did she die?
Adriana Smith is a great example.
Thank you. Adriana Smith. That was
but can you guys actually tell me how they died?
Yes. Go ahead, Olive.
They didn't receive proper medical attention at the right time. A lot of them led into sepsis.
And you're still not telling me how they died.
I just did sepsis.
So that would mean that the baby had died inside the womb and became infectious?
Do you not know what a sepsis is?
Sepsis is when I believe the amniotic fluid is tainted in a way. I'm not fully sure.
So you don't even know you don't know what sepsis is.
I'm pretty sure sepsis is a form of what's it called? Infection.
Why would you want to have a discussion about women's bodily autonomy and not understand what sepsis
is? You can just simply tell me what sepsis means instead of getting emotional.
I'm not getting emotional.
Literally all
yeah, you definitely are. We can hear your voice. We can all hear your voice getting irritated.
I think maybe I'm a little annoyed that a man wants to talk about my bodily autonomy.
Well, did you know that there are men that also are born in, half of the babies that are born are male, right?
Right, which is why we
Yeah, so sepsis is a life-threatening medical emergency that is a response to infection. So, wow, I was so off. I was pretty darn close.
Adriana Smith was used as an incubator.
So, yes, I was right. It's an infection. Wow.
Did you know that?
Olive, can I take just a moment? I'm sorry.
So
did you know that Nevaeh Crane? No, sir, I don't care. Do you know what happened in Nevaeh Crane?
Yeah, go ahead and tell me.
Okay, so she was an 18-year-old. She was an 18-year-old who was actually pro-life. She started miscarrying. She lived in Texas. She went to 3 separate hospitals as she was actively bleeding, and none of them would help her. The last one she went to, they confirmed that she was septic. They confirmed that there was no fetal heartbeat. But at that point in time, she was already so far gone because the first 2 hospitals didn't help her. She was sitting up in her hospital bed, trigger warning for chat. She was sitting up in her hospital bed having black blood coming out of her mouth and her nose. Lost her life at 18 because the first 2 hospitals would not help her because there was still a heartbeat. So they treated her with antibiotics and discharged her as she was actively losing her life. So don't tell me women aren't losing their life, and don't tell me not to get emotional about it. Because I won't calm down. I won't calm down. I won't because this does not affect you. No, stop.
I'm pretty sure it's okay.
Stop. I don't care.
Hold on.
You care so much.
Are you using the percentage to say that it doesn't matter, especially when it's the direct cause of Roe v. Wade being overturned and red states that are predominantly beheaded by men in these legislative bodies passing these laws? Because I do want to make something super clear. If you're to tell me that women die during childbirth every day, I would agree with you. That's a statistic. Women are specifically dying during childbirth and beforehand because of Republican legislation that causes doctors not to act properly to preserve the life of the child.
Right. So you can cite a few sources. It's probably less than 1% of women that die.
A few sources, because I want to point out to you what you're going to say is you don't care.
I let you talk. Let me talk now.
That they're dying.
Oh my gosh, girl! This is why women should not be in charge.
Don't call me girl. Don't call me girl.
You are so emotional, lady. Calm down.
Alrighty. Jesus fucking Christ. First off, you were speaking to a person yeah, hang up. That actually works because I was about to cuss you out for that fucking comment. Trump supporters,
By
of
the
course, up in
way-
the box. You're the demographic of people I'd like to have a conversation with. If you're over on the tube side, you can call the number on screen, 737-295-5321. It's crazy to me how quickly you guys are ready to disrespect women, because without one, your ass wouldn't be here. Go ahead, Olive.
I was just going to say, if he's still listening over on the tube, it's not even just for the access to an abortion. There was a woman in Tennessee who had to leave state lines just to get prenatal care. She had to leave her state of Tennessee, drive 10 hours to Virginia in order to receive prenatal care. Women cannot receive contraceptives in some states. In the state like Tennessee, some places you have to have permission from your husband in order to get contraceptives. So when you want to sit and you want to talk about my bodily autonomy and my right to my own body, maybe you should understand what sepsis is, and maybe next time someone should ask you what the reproductive organs of a woman is, because I can bet you would have said vagina.
Thank you so much.
And
Olive.
Hector, I'm sorry. I was going to come up and calmly debate, and you know that I can talk about this topic very calmly, and I have before. But the second he said Olive was being emotional, and like we're not allowed to get upset that people like us are losing our lives, I no more calm. I'm not going to be calm when you're going to tell people they can't be emotional about something that could make us lose our lives. Go away.
Olive asked the question. Olive asked the question, and y'all know Olive. And Olive just asked the question, and he would just calm down. It's quite literally, if you challenge some of these men's points, that off the bat is aggression. It's you stepping out of your place. And then we knew what it was, because once he said, this is why women shouldn't. Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
This is why women shouldn't have men, just men. Just men. Okay, but go ahead and do an egg drop soup. I love you, Hector.
I fucking hate it when you say that. Guys, make sure you're following Olive. Kit, any final words?
Just thank you. And again, I know you try to keep it ashwagandha, but like as soon as he said the emotion thing, I was done. I'm sorry. Love you guys. Bye.
For him one way or another, it's fine. Thank you for coming up, Kit. Alrighty, W's in the chat to Brooke for the $1 cash app. Appreciate you. Thank you so much, Brooke. I appreciate you as well. Big W's in the chat to you. Guys, the best way to support the platform, if you so choose, is going to be the links in the bio. If you'd like to donate directly, follow the other social media platforms or get yourself some merch off the merch shop at hectorshops.com with 2 R's. You know what to do. Check out the links in the bio and the link in the description of the YouTube live stream. If you're a Trump supporter who does regret your vote, you may call in or request up in the box. Or if you're a Trump supporter who does not, no problem. I can give you several reasons as to why you should. It will never cease to amaze me that you guys really love to call in and talk to men about things that men can't do, but men regulate overwhelmingly for some reason. Like, it's just strange. Better yet, I don't think Trump supporters, MAGA men, actually want the roles to be reversed. Like, if we were to look at the world today and say, based off the power that men have on women's bodies, let's keep it fair and equal, because you guys claim to care about equality. It's a lie. Let's keep it fair and equal. Let's give women the same power over men's body. And then they start to make you guys do the bare minimum, such as getting a mandatory vasectomy. I think you guys would change your tune drastically, and very, very, very quickly. Very quickly. All of this is about control. Better yet, maybe we shouldn't give a shit about things that don't impact us. Anyways, what happened? Did I miss something in the comments? What did I miss in the comments? I'll choose my child's lives first. Abortion simply is a right, my responsibility. Okay, you can believe whatever you want to believe, and you can choose to die over a fetus. That's your business. Listen, you know the cool thing about being a lib? You know what the cool thing about being on the left side? A Republican can sit here and say, I believe that life is precious the second that person nuts inside of me. And the second that person nuts inside of me, I believe that is a full-grown person that has the exact same rights that I do. In fact, I think I should be able to take that and start to get a tax deduction. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's right. And whatever happens to me after that point, by all means, let it happen. It's God's will. We're going to look at you like you're fucking crazy, but we're going to say that's your right. You have every right to have that viewpoint. You have every right to bring that fetus to full term. Y'all's positions is to take rights away from other people. That's the difference. Pro-choice is the only choice because it includes all choices. I will say it again for the ones in the back. Pro-choice is the only choice because it includes all choices. What's the difference between libertarian and Republican? Republicans guise themselves as being libertarian. Some libertarians are batshit, but they kind of disguise themselves as libertarians when ultimately Republicans are big government. Republicans are big government. That's another thing I think Democrats need to do an infinitely better job at broadcasting to the average American. Republicans are the true party of big government, whether it's making it like bigger in like local, or it's just wanting to take control via their religious beliefs. Republicans are the party of big government. They want to be able to have a say in what you think is moral or not, such as abortion. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Hey, Jeff. So you can say no, they aren't in the comments. I actually don't care what you think in the comments. If I have a position, I have a belief, and you disagree with it, that's what the request box is for. Or the number on the screen for the YouTubers. You guys can request that. Too many people saying, you're a liar. You guys know me. That's one of my biggest pet peeves was when someone calls me a liar. And then I ask them, what did I lie about? And then crickets. If I'm lying, tell me how I'm wrong. This could be your opportunity. I know a lot of you guys want to be me. You want to be a creator who actually has like some pull on this shit. The perfect way to do so, to start off your platform, is to get a clip of me lying and you cooking me. This is your invitation to do so. What does my hat say? Kamala would never. My hat says Kamala would never. Never, ever. The shit that we're dealing with right now, we wouldn't have had under a Kamala administration. Something's wrong. I can't see the mod chat. Mark, you're not a mod. Oh, you're joking. Mark, do you want to be a mod? Yours is on the way. Yours is on the way. Maze. W's in the chat to Nick for the $10 Venmo. Nick, you have every right to beat me up because I still was supposed to message you about that other thing. How do we feel about Mark Kelly? I like Mark Kelly. I don't know too much about him in terms of everything he's done in Arizona, but how he stepped up after Donald Trump's attacks, the statement that he made in regards to military officials not having to follow unlawful orders. I think he's been a pretty cool person. I think he has a well-documented history of being exceptional. So Mark Kelly 2028 in terms of the presidential election, why not? Why not? I'd have to see what he's running on. I'm an Andy Bashir kind of guy. Better yet, this is one thing I will say. Since Jasmine Crockett's out in 2027, why not run for president? You can take some of that beach blonde, bad built, butch body merch, go all the way. I think she would have one hell of a base to help her crowdfund. I think she'd get to the primaries. Jasmine Crockett 2028 would be solid. Like I said, right now, it's my top pick is Andy Bashir. I don't want Gavin Newsom. I don't know who else is running. In terms of people I to my knowledge, have eyed it. My top pick is Andy Bashir. I think he's been a pretty exceptional governor, a blue governor in a red state. I think that's pretty amazing. But if Jasmine Crockett enters the race, shit. I would love to hear people challenge Jasmine Crockett's record. They will, but whatever. W's in the chat to Ren for the $2 Venmo. A warning to any man who wants to discuss my or any other uterus haver's body. You will regret your life when some of us get a hold of you. Love you, bud. Your favorite expo marker. I'm just the messenger. TikTok, this is not a threat from me to anyone. I'm just reading out donations because I have to. W's in the chat to Ren. W's in the chat to Ren. I appreciate your support. Guys, anyone else wants to donate, you may check out the links in the bio. We do have a super chat. W's in the chat to Melvin for the $5 super chat. Ladies, number one, you have every right to be upset with men who have no respect for women and their bodies. Number two, not all men feel that they have total control over women. 6,000%. 6,000%. W's in the chat to you, Melvin. Thank you for your super chat. Imagine complaining about a woman being rude and then following up with, this is why you guys shouldn't have power. Ashley the Baroness put up a fantastic video today. And I don't know if it was today, actually, but I know I saw it today. It was named, What Happens If We Had a Black Woman for president or a black woman in power. She went over 3 different time periods. 1968 with the first black congresswoman. After the Civil Rights Act passed, she served for 7 terms. She even tried to run for president. I don't remember the year. They did everything in their power to make sure that did not happen. The second one was 2000 and something. I don't remember who she was. And then the third was a woman in Georgia. When Georgia had that whole bullshit going on and they kicked off a couple 100,000 voters, and was it 100,000 or was it 60 something thousand? I'm not going to get these numbers right, but basically by the time she was done after those events, she was able to register more people in the years to follow than what they kicked off during that term. I'll have to get their name. Shirley Chisholm, Stacey Abrams. Thank you. Fantastic video. If you guys are not following her, she's an exceptional creator. Fantastic videos. Basically, she used that to say that if we're going to have all these questions and doubts about what black women do when they get in positions of power, let's look what they've done on this scale. Now imagine if they're on this scale. Really good video. This whole thing is disingenuous. Tell me how it's disingenuous, buddy. How about that? I think you guys chirping more and more in the comments versus actually telling me a reason why you still support Trump only helps my point. It only supports my argument. You guys are growing quieter and quieter because the Trump administration is not doing what he promised. Because he's not doing as well as you thought, or as he told you he would be doing, or as Fox News would be reporting to you. When you have Fox News using, and we played this video yesterday, I'll do it again, screw it. When you have Fox News reporting that the Democratic Party is the party of the rich, white, and affluent, when you have the Fox News network now using talking points, accurate ones at that, talking points from the left to gain voters on their side, that's how you know you're fucking losing. You guys are getting so desperate. Your policies, your rhetoric is growing more and more unpopular, so you're stealing points. That's one of the big reasons why they lean in racism, with racism, right? Democrats started the KKK. You say that because you know racism is a trigger word for people on our side. So you have to distance yourself from it, or attempt to, despite the fact that those people now serve you. David Duke now endorses the Republican Party and Donald Trump. Friendly reminder. What did I do with that clip? Oh, this is another one I also want to show you guys because this shit was crazy. What if I told you guys Donald Trump was asked if he's going to look to Congress to get their authorization on more actions in Iran, and Donald Trump said, that's unconstitutional. What if I told you guys that? Would you believe me? Probably not, which is why I have receipts. Hold, please. Thank you guys for knocking out the kitties. I appreciate you. Going to go ahead and reset that goal. Guys, if you click on my name in the top left corner, do 2 things. 1, make sure you're following me. Hit that follow button in the top left corner. We are live every Saturday after 3 p.m. CST and randomly throughout the week, typically with more people but today they're chicken shit. After you guys follow me, consider becoming a fan club member. It literally costs 1 coin. You just have to renew it once a week, and you get a couple cool stickers when you do. So also do that. And when you click on my name and you scroll down to the C2 gift gallery, there's a couple gifts grayed out there in the chat. It's super cool if we get that knocked out by the end of the week while we're in C League, if you would like to support the stream that way. And then, of course, there's going to be links in the bio. Let me load this thing up here. I put my cursor on. Oh, shit. I didn't mean to do that, but yeah, someone's in the request.
Hello?
Braden, did you vote for Trump?
Hello?
Braden, did you vote for Trump?
Yeah, I did.
How old are you?
Huh?
When I was a kid, I was an infinitely better liar than them. What is going on with the kids of today? Are you guys even trying? Bro? Should I tell y'all this? Fuck it, I'm gonna tell y'all this. When I was a kid, I was on the internet interacting with full-grown people. Nobody knew.
Mr. President, it's day 60. Are you going to seek congressional authorization for...
Well, no other country has ever done it. It's never been, as you know, most people consider it totally unconstitutional. Also, we had a ceasefire, so that gives you additional time. But no other country's done it. We're in the midst of a big victory. This is a victory like we haven't had since Venezuela, okay, to be honest with you. We haven't had, but, you know, we have a country that lost its way. It really lost its way. That's our country in terms of the military. Now we have a great military. We're on our way to another victory, a big victory, and I don't think that it's constitutional what they're asking for. These are not patriotic people that are asking. You know, when they say, even the losers, even the ones that say all the wrong things, admit that it's been amazing what we've done. The strait is totally shut down. It's flawless. It's totally 100% shut down.
When did I mute? I did not realize I did that. Caffeinated Sloth, did you vote for Trump?
I'm so sorry. It was a mistake.
You're fine. You're fine. But since you're up here,
I'm so sorry.
since you're up here,
sorry.
you got to pay the mistake tax.
Oh, how much is that? Do you offer a payment plan?
You gotta tell the people to tap the damn screen.
Tap the screen.
That's what I'm talking about. You didn't say damn, but I'll take it. Appreciate you coming up.
Sorry.
I didn't realize I was muted. I don't think Donald Trump fully understood the question. I don't think he responded to the question fully. And that's me being generous, because that incoherent word salad of a mess couldn't possibly be an appropriate answer. Granted, he did answer certain parts. Number one, bro said, what people are asking for, meaning Congress, House, and the Senate, which is that any approval of war and war actions and stuff would, for the most part, have to go through them to a certain degree, right? After a certain degree. He said that's unconstitutional. The whole point of the body. The whole point of the body is to avoid a rogue president doing whatever the hell he wants. And he said that them voting on actions is unconstitutional. Crazy. Also, we were winning the war, and then we're on our way to win the war, and then they're losing badly, but then we're now trying to do this other thing. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. The payment plan was crazy. The payment plan was crazy. Oh, yes. He said it's never been done, and other countries have never done it. Wow. That's crazy. Somebody want to tell him about, that 1 year with that one war? Somebody want to tell him about that? Or the additional ammo that or money we've allocated for ammo and other actions, and the ones that we didn't officially declare war? I guess none of that existed. I think it's very concerning to have a president that doesn't know our history. I think that's extremely concerning, to have a president who doesn't know the history of the country that he's in. Absolutely diabolical. Absolutely diabolical. Anti-case, Trump supporters request up in the box. You are the demographic of people I like to have a conversation with. If you're over on the tube side, you may call the number on screen, 737-295-5321. If you regret your vote, this is a safe space for you to come up and express exactly why with minimal judgment. And, there's several reasons as to why. And then if you are not a Trump supporter who regrets the vote, do you think he's doing an exceptional job? You think that he's A1 in your book? You think that the Democrats have it all wrong? You may request up in the box, and I'll give you several reasons as to why you should. Better yet, at this point in time in the live, we start the invisible prompt. And the invisible prompt is going to be, what is Donald Trump doing an amazing job on that you believe not a single Democrat can deny? What is Donald Trump doing an amazing job on that you think not a single Democrat can deny? I want to know what that thing is. I really want to know what that thing is. Most of these patriots, aka MAGA, can't pass the citizenship test. Oh yeah. Outside of the fact that it could be seen as some form or the needle moving towards a poll tax, I am a firm believer in voters having to take a test before voting. Firm believer. Firm believer in that. I think some of you guys should be fucking tested before you're allowed to vote and fuck it up for the rest of us. The first lady that we had, what did she say? I didn't know anything about Kamala Harris's platform, but I don't like Kamala Harris. Interesting. Very interesting. I don't know how you could possibly be against something you don't know or understand. Like, I would be... This is why I say bring back shame. I would be so embarrassed to say some shit like that on a live with, at the time, 500 people watching. I would be fucking embarrassed. Like, it baffles me. It baffles me. David, never mind. I'm going to show you guys. First off, I'm going to take a screenshot of this. I'm going to show you guys what David had to say. Damn it, I didn't do that right. Hold on. This is what David.
God bless you.
Thank you, April, for the finger hearts. Thank you, Nina. Appreciate you. Hi, Amanda. This is what David had to say. And this is what's left of the Republican Party. I want to make something super clear. This is what's left of Trump supporters. I'm going to show you guys in a second, YouTube. You see it in the comments. Actually, never mind. You see it in the comments. Look at David over there in the comment section. YouTube. TikTok. This is the best David has to offer.
God bless you.
Thank you, Just Devin, for the confetti. The power of Trump compels you. The power of Trump compels you. The power of Trump compels you. Oh, wait, never mind. David is joking. Trump couldn't beat a blind chicken at checkers. This joke was not intended to incite violence. I have to say that after every joke, MAGA snowflakes. Got you. David was joking. I misread David's comment. For a split second, I thought David was stupid. For a split second, I thought David was stupid. My bad, David. Because my first thought was, wait, didn't we make a joke about that yesterday when we played the clip from, what's the name of the movie? This Is the End? David was joking. Jose isn't joking, though. What did Jose say? Why are Latinos moving into the MAGA? I don't know. I don't know what justification you want to give me, or what justification you want me to do about people. Before I say this, I want to make something super duper clear. I am a homeschool dropout. Okay? I dropped out of homeschool. That is correct. I got up one day, I was like, fuck it. Went and got my GED. So I am in no way, shape, or form looking down upon people who don't have a college degree. I believe intelligence isn't indicated or a college degree isn't a sole indicator of intelligence. I want to make that super duper clear. You can be a super smart person from just books and whatever else. It doesn't have to come through a degree. However, I do think it says something when the majority of people that shifted to the right, when you look into the data, when it comes to Latinos, black people, white people, whoever, are people without degrees. That's all I'm saying. I do find that piece of information to be super duper interesting, that the shifts come from people who do not have higher education. Just saying. Jose, shut up. Actually, shut up. Mods, you have my full permission to just mute the chirpers. Just mute the chirpers. There's a full call-in line there and a request box. Wait, hold on. It's showing that I have missed calls. This is when we had the last caller. Never mind. This is when we had the last caller. I thought for a second my phone line was acting up. Yeah, so literally no one has called in. No one has called in. Have you been personally victimized by Hector's misunderstandings? You may be eligible for compensation. Ha! We're coming up on the 2-hour mark. I would love to see us hit 300,000 likes if we get there. We've been doing a pretty good job with the taps today. Pretty good job with the taps today. I appreciate y'all. If you are in the Discord, if you're in my Discord, first off, W's to you. If you're not, check out the link in the bio to join. It is free. Go to the live chat. I'm not even going to show you guys. Go to the live chat. Just go to the live chat if you're in my Discord and see what Palpable just put in there. Go to the live chat. I'm going to leave that for the people in the know. Anyway, if you're not following me, hit that follow button in the top left corner. We are live every Saturday after 3 p.m. CST and randomly throughout the week. Share out the live with your friends and family as well. Repost, add to your story. Knock out the little finger heart gift goals. I did say send your daily heart me's. Yeah, I think I covered all the things. We're probably going to do a restart in a bit. You don't need a college. You don't need a degree to be informed, but education, be it
God bless you,
or individual, is important. Oh, absolutely. Everything I know, I got just from reading. Just because you don't go to college doesn't mean you just stop at high school, right? You're supposed to be continuously educating yourself. It doesn't have to be in the form of going to a college, especially with how expensive it is. Like, I don't knock people who don't go to college. But then don't speak on behalf or for or over people who did go to college, specialize themselves in a specific topic, or are speaking from a place of empirical data and knowledgeable information versus your information comes from headlines and Twitter. Don't do that, because then you just look really stupid. Please stop doing that. I am so tired of these freaking 5th grade dropouts trying to have full-blown arguments with people on shit that they literally studied. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make an ounce of sense. You're never going to catch me in a room with a... You're never going to catch me in a room with the engineer trying to tell him how to do his job. Never. It's never going to happen, bro. I have this thing called pride and shame. It stops me from doing stupid things for the most part. It stops me from doing really stupid shit. And I have an irrational fear of looking stupid in public. I'm going to tell you guys a real fucking story. So obviously I do my best when I host these lives to give you guys the most accurate information. Okay? I do my best, but I'm a human. Sometimes I fuck up. Sometimes there's something in my head that I think is correct, and I remember hearing it somewhere. I thought I read up on it, but I misquoted the words, or I pulled up the wrong source, or whatever. That happens sometimes. I'm a human being. I'm fully able to admit when I'm dead wrong. So the other day was going back and forth with this stupid Trump supporter up on this one thing. He wasn't stupid, and we were talking about taxes. And what I was trying to say is that the time period that was considered the golden age, where the middle class was thriving, there was slightly more for the lower class, the rich weren't just able to get away with fucking murder, was between the 1940s, late 1940s, and early 1970s-ish, right? That was the time period. And then from there on, that's where we saw over the course of 50 years, I believe it's estimated to be a $50 trillion transfer of wealth from the middle class to the upper class. I said, when I was referencing the higher corporate tax rates, I said the 1930s, 1920s and 30s. That's wrong as fuck, okay? That's dead wrong. You know what the fuck I did? I corrected myself and I deleted the entire goddamn live. It's not that I'm ashamed of making a mistake, but because I don't want more people to view that and then spread it. Because I don't fuck with misinformation, and I especially don't fuck with disinformation. So I just take pride in that. I'm like, nope, I try to say accurate stuff. If it's not accurate, I'll correct it or I'll get rid of it. That's how that works. Sometimes you fuck up. It's a part of being human. It's important to admit it, which is the entire purpose of this live. I run this show for people who feel it here that Trump was a bad decision. There's so many people who weren't even comfortable getting in the booth and voting for him, but they felt horribly about Democrats because of stuff they were told, things that they heard, because of their religious leanings. But they did it. And now those people are silent. Some of those people are just tuned out. We talked to a few of them who say, I'll just never vote again because they're that unhappy with the system. That's not an option. That doesn't fix anything. And as far as I'm concerned, you have a moral responsibility to right the wrongs that you created by stopping this nut job in the Oval Office from causing more harm. And this is the live and the platform where you should be able to do so. And that's what I try to do. You held yourself accountable. I try. I ain't shit. But I try. W's in the chat to Ren for the $2 Venmo. If you have come to the conclusion that you have learned everything, you have in fact learned nothing. Ooh. I like that. If you have come to the conclusion that you have learned everything, you have in fact learned nothing. I like that. I'm gonna steal that shit. Thank you, Ren. I'm gonna steal that. I may not even give you credit either. I'm stealing that. That is a true statement. I say it all the time because the Trump supporters, they're always talking about how these lives are echo chambers. I don't know how hosting an entire live dedicated to talking to the opposing side, and you guys see me aggressively telling you guys, cussing you out at times, stay the fuck out of the request if you are friendly. We're not looking to talk to you. I don't know how that's an echo chamber when my entire job every single day is talking to people who disagree with me. How does that work? But I do it because occasionally, a Trump supporter puts me on to something I didn't know. Occasionally. Very rare. But occasionally. What did I learn the other day? I'm trying to remember what it was from this one guy. He was an absolute fucking nut. But he was talking about... Oh, yeah. The guy who was saying that I regretted my vote for Trump, but I think Democrats have it wrong when we call Trump a fascist. And I said, if it walks like a fascist, talks like a fascist, does fascist things, then what the fuck else are we supposed to call it? And then he brought up the example in March of Donald Trump making the post he did on the SAVE Act. I'll show you guys. I'll just show you guys. Trump. Yeah, I'll just show it to you guys. It's been deleted, but people archived it. So, W archivers. Where is that? Excuse me, where is that post? This isn't of a good quality. Okay, this is better. Let me show you guys here. I will just read it out to the YouTubers. I gotta get everything set up through OBS, so whatever I show here shows over there, but that's a whole nother process I do not have the energy to screw with. So I'm not gonna worry about it right now. But we're gonna get to it. And okay, I have to just take a screenshot of this. Every fucking time.
Call from. To accept, press 1.
Caller, you're on the line. Did you vote for Trump?
No, I just wanted to ask about like your reasons specifically, because I'm not a supporter either, but I'm just like curious about your reasons specifically.
Did you vote in the 2024 election?
Sense? Huh?
Did you vote in the 2024 election?
No.
Why not?
Have. Huh?
Why not?
Well, I kind of like I'm newly an adult and stuff, and I usually see voting and stuff. And I just feel like we're screwed either way, you know? Because like Trump was bad, but Camilla seemed bad. Everyone really was a bad candidate, in my opinion.
Kamala Harris. What was bad about Kamala?
Yeah. I don't know. It's just the way she went about it. Like, I'm not saying I support her. I'm not saying I support him. Like, I just feel like we were screwed either way.
Okay. I understand your feelings. But your feelings only can go so far when they're lined up with facts, right?
Right.
How old are you, first and foremost?
I'm like 18, so pretty young. So I just kind of wanted to talk to somebody who's maybe a little more experienced about it.
Date of birth?
2007, September 9th. 28th, actually. My fault. Ugh.
You said
That's my birthday.
September?
September, yeah.
Thank you.
I mean, it's just some of the things she said were a little sketchy. I mean, I get it. Like, honestly, I just feel like everyone in the political office has like ulterior motives. Like, that's just how I feel about it. Like, I don't know. Why would you vote for her then? That's my question. Or if you did.
She was the most qualified candidate with the best platform in the 2024 election.
That makes sense. I personally don't support Trump though, because he, like, with the immigration things that are going on and how I understand the economy, what he does just doesn't make sense to me.
Wait, hold on. Am I bad on math? Give me a second. 2007 to 2027, it would make you 20. If it was 2026, it would make you 19. But then you said September, so you're 17.
No, I'm 18.
September hasn't
I said
passed yet.
September 28th, 2007.
Yeah. You would be 17. Am I getting this right?
I'm pretty sure I'm 18.
Yeah, 2007 to 2026. No, that would mean you would turn 19 in September.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would turn 19 in September.
Got it. Mixed myself up there. Got
Yeah.
you. So, what was Donald Trump's plan for the rising cost of homes?
That's kind of, I don't particularly have any look on that, or nor do I pay attention to that stuff. Like, for me, it's like more about morality and stuff, but also like the prices and things have gone up due to his tariffs and stuff.
Do you
I
think
know
Trump
that.
is a moral
I'm-
person?
No, I don't.
You said it was more about morality in your support for Trump.
Yeah, I don't.
Or liking for Trump, or whatever you said.
I said I didn't support him personally.
Oh, you said you thought we were screwed either way.
Yeah, I said I thought we were screwed either way. More screwed with Trump, to be honest, based on what I'm seeing.
Then you wouldn't have been at the age to vote anyway.
At that point, yeah. No, I wouldn't have.
Right.
But I just feel like, from what I'm seeing from that one, it's just like immigration makes no sense, because from how I understand it, like, basically we have these people with immigration, like, coming into the United States, right? And they power the workforce, right? And if they power the workforce, that directly goes to other things, like resources, like building houses, things that, like, maybe we wouldn't even want to do. So it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Like, why people, like, think that immigration, like, laws and making it stricter and stricter is going to do anything. I just don't understand how people, like, see it that way.
Yeah. While we do have an undocumented migrant problem here in regards to them working without the proper protections, that is why Democrats advocate for giving the ones who are participating in our process, paying their state and local taxes, being contributing members of society, a pathway to citizenship. And that way they would be then start contributing federally and continue to be living the American dream. I don't see what the problem is with that. It doesn't sound like you see any problem with that. So I would say there's something you already disagree with Trump on there. Kamala Harris had a plan to secure the border, southern specifically, with S4361, which under the guidance of Donald Trump was shut down by Republicans. That would set a cap on encounters every month, allocated money towards the border wall, which I think is stupid, but whatever, it was a concession, and been able to allocate funds to hire more immigration judges and lawyers to deal with the backlog that we have which would have fast-tracked the bad ones out of the bag once we vetted them, and then gotten the good ones into the United States to contribute. So that was a good plan that she had versus Donald Trump's run off of fear and their violent criminals poisoning the blood of our nation and raping people and all this bullshit that he keeps saying.
Yeah, that personally is just not how I saw it. Like, because like for me, like if you understand economics at like a basic standpoint, like even with like a high school basic class, right? You understand that, hey, like households work for corporations and they get money and they produce goods, right? And these corporations, like, and then there's this cycle, right? And it just goes in and on. Like they directly contribute to the economy just by buying stuff and working here. So like I don't understand how people can think, hey, like immigration is such a bad thing. Like we shouldn't be getting stricter with it, in my opinion. I mean, yes, we should be filtering through them, right? Like making sure the bad doesn't get in, right? But also like it really empowers.
Yeah. Hold for 1 second. Hold for 1 second.
Call from
Happy days.
Calling you on the line. Did you vote for Trump?
Yes, I did.
All right, hold for 1 moment. Sorry, go ahead.
I just don't see like where do these people get off like thinking like, hey, immigration's just like such a bad thing. You get what I'm saying? Like it's like people come into this country and empower the workforce, and it just doesn't make sense. Not to mention like
I don't disagree with you. So here's what I would tell you to do, because I do have a Trump supporter on the line, so I do want to get back to that. But here's what I would tell you to do.
Right, that would be a lot more engaging.
You have the ability to register to vote. You have the ability to at least vote on what you believe. One of those things being immigrants are good, and deport the bad ones. Right? We can all agree on that. There are candidates in your local elections this term, this election, midterms, that believe that as well, and are going to be able to reduce the powers of this administration to demonize them. So I would tell you to vote in there. At another time, we can talk more about other things, but I just want to tell you that for right now. I'm going to move on to the next guest. But I do appreciate you calling in. Right. It is good to be young and curious about politics. So just keep participating, and you enjoy the rest of your day, man.
All right, bye.
Bye. All right, caller. You voted for Trump, right?
Yes, I did.
And do you regret your vote?
No, I do not.
Cool. Hold for 1 moment. W's in the chat to Miss Donna for the $5 Cash App. Happy Saturday, Hector, for all you do. Thank you so much, Miss Donna. W's to you, Miss Donna. Guys, if you want to support the platform, you may do so in the links in the bio. If you're over on the tube side, you may send a super chat or a super sticker. Alrighty, you do not regret your vote. Why is that?
Immigration's one of the biggest ones. Do you want my argument for why I support him for this?
Sure.
Okay, so premise 1 is going to be we do not have a causal obligation. Premise 2, remove the people that are trying to put themselves into a state. Premise 3, or the conclusion, remove all illegals at the end of the day.
What was premise 1?
Huh?
What was premise 1?
Premise 1, we do not have a causal obligation to them.
A causal obligation to them.
Yeah. Do you know what causal obligation is, or do I need to elaborate?
What specifically? In what area specifically?
Yeah, we haven't caused them to be in a state of dependence if their country is in war, kind of like Mexico with the cartels.
State of dependence.
Yep.
Interesting. Do you think immigrants here in the United States have a state of dependence?
Yeah, technically they do.
Based off of what?
Them being in this location in the first place, relying on our government to protect them if we get invaded, anything.
Americans will rely on our government to protect them.
So do illegals. There's a difference there because Americans
anyone that is within the jurisdiction of the United States.
And that's why I said deport all illegals.
Again, that's not a. You're saying that that's a negative, that they have a state of dependency for being here, when our Constitution ensures that they would be protected the same way.
Yeah, I'm not appealing to legality here, unless if you get your morality from legality.
I don't really care about your moral arguments for it. I care about the law.
Okay, so when it comes to law, yeah, okay, I got you. So when it comes to law, if it says that we can own people, would you do this?
What?
I'm keeping it simple for you, since you don't want to engage and actually be good faith when it comes to a debate now.
I don't know
so
what
the
about
simple
what
argument
I've said has been
is going to be that we don't have a causal obligation to illegals, so deport them. You want to
You're
get the
trying
argument
to
from
make
the
a moral argument for us not having a causal obligation, which I find to be fascinating because if you claim to be any form of a moral person, which is the only reason I had to give a shit about this conversation with you, then I would say we absolutely should take care of everyone and protect them from harm regardless of citizenship.
Wait,
But
harm
I'm
is
really
very
falling back on
subjective.
the law.
Sorry to tell you.
Sure, you can say harm is subjective. Absolutely.
No, it is subjective unless if you want to prove that how it can be objective.
Sure. I think the harm we've been causing undocumented
I think it's
migrants,
preference-based.
seeing ICE going around, invading their homes, putting them in detainment centers, leaving lights on them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week while they sleep, while they eat, while they shit, depriving them of appropriate medical care in emergencies. I think that is a moral blight on this country.
Wait, I think it's preference-based. Can you show how this is objectively harm?
Oh, do you want to sit here and argue with me that depriving someone of medical care and not allowing them to sleep appropriately?
Yeah, now you're doing
is
emotional
immoral?
fallacy. I want you to demonstrate how there's objective harm. Do you understand this, or do I need to dumb this down for you?
Got you. So, objectively, you're saying that we're not harming undocumented migrants.
No, you
In
made
those
the
examples that I
claim
gave
here initially saying, oh, well, this is harmful. And then I was like, that's very subjective. And you're like, oh, no, well, technically, it's objectively harmful going around and doing all of these situations.
Messing with an
So unless if
undocumented
you want to
migrant's
retract your
mental
statement and
health
propose something
and
else, then
physical
I understand you probably don't
well-being
know how to debate.
when they're detained in a center with lights on them, bright lights on them 24/7. If you want me to sit here and explain to you how that's not objectively harmful, I think that's ridiculous. You can just make a better argument and say that you don't care that they're being harmed in that way because they're
I'm
illegal.
sorry, you were the one that proposed something here. I'm asking you to demonstrate how this is objectively harmful instead of proposing it based off of your preference. Do you want me to dumb this down again for you?
My preference, got you. So we can't universally agree that not allowing people to sleep before as some form of a punishment for just wanting to come to the United States and have a better life. We can't universally
Better life
agree
is also
that's
subjective,
objectively
sorry to tell
harmful.
you. If you're proposing
Okay, yeah,
multiple
sure. A
factors
better
here,
life,
you need
yes,
to
absolutely. I can
demonstrate
bring
how
up
this is
those factors.
objectively the
Being in
case.
a different country where you do not have access to capital, you do not have access to appropriate
Why should they
medical
have
care,
access to
you don't
capital?
have access to shelter, and then you can come to the United States and you can work for a job because the majority of people who work would get their health care through their work. Well, obviously would only apply to legal immigrants, so there'd be asylum and whatnot. Like that being better, access to some money, which is not that much, but some money would be better. Them being able to get some shelter via renting or NGOs, that would be better than some of the places that they're coming from. That's what you're saying is subjective?
No, so when you're proposing something here, you initially said that harm is objective, haven't still demonstrated how this is objectively the case.
I
If
gave
you want to
an
do a
example
mass
of
appeal,
what I
wait,
thought
hold up
was
a second.
objectively harmful.
If you want to do a mass appeal here and say, oh, well, we can have a general census, but even with that, that's preference based. Second, when you're saying, oh, well, they should have the right
Everything
to
you're trying
capital
to
and
say
everything
here
like that,
can be
that's still
argued as
preference-based.
subjective based. I mean, if you really want to get that fucking deep, what the fuck are we doing? This is why I can't stand you goddamn Phil bros.
Wait,
W's in the
no,
chat to
see, we're
Melvin
here
for the
to
$10
debate,
super
and you don't
chat.
know how to debate.
One thing black women can't get the love and respect for they've endured from this country, and that includes from misogynistic black men who were birthed and raised by these true patriots. I mean, that is true. Melvin, W's in the chat to you. Thank you so much for the 10. I appreciate you. Back to this fucking twat.
Yeah, I understand you don't know how to debate, right?
No,
There's
I don't
certain types
know.
of
I don't care
arguments
to
that
do
you can
this Phil bro
propose.
shit. That's what I don't care about. So you're wanting me to sit here and tell you how it's not objectively harmful.
It would be
to
based off of your
again in
preference,
the examples that I gave in the detention said yes, absolutely based off of my preference of not
Okay,
shining
cool, so that
lights on
doesn't make it
undocumented migrants in
objective.
detention centers
understanding words.
24/7, denying them appropriate health care in the case of that one undocumented migrant recently who had a toothache because of an infection that he had and died from it because ICE agents did not give him the appropriate care and have a dentist even come into the facility. Not allowing them to speak to their lawyers and get the appropriate representation, even though many of them were wrongfully detained. You're sitting here trying to tell me that I need to objectively tell you that that's harmful.
No, see, I had a problem with your terminology that you were doing because we can actually get into the debate once you actually understand terminology. See, initially you were making the claim that this was objectively harmful and everything.
That's what I
now
just
you
said.
just conceded to it and say, no, it's based off my preference. Okay, cool.
No,
Now
I
let's
just
actually
said
get into
I
the
literally
debate
said you
then.
can consider everything as a preference. That's what I said. I did not agree to you saying that that is a matter of preference. I don't
Okay, cool.
think
Can you demonstrate how there's objective harm then? Going once.
Can I
Going
demonstrate
twice?
how
No?
it's objectively harmful to look at an undocumented migrant dying from an infection in his mouth and not allowing him to get the appropriate care from a dentist to save his life?
That's not demonstrating how there's objective harm there. That's still based off of
Objective
preference there.
harm is looking at an individual and letting him die because you think he's less than.
Oh, wait, that wouldn't be objective harm there. That's based off the individual in question determining that this is immoral and we shouldn't do this. So when it comes to objective, right, this is going to be
An
some type
infection
of
killing you
independent
is
from an
objectively
mind.
harmful to said individual. And
Say that
anyone
again?
who would disagree with that would demean that person and belittle their human life. And if you
still
think
haven't-
that's subjective, so be it. Congratulations, you're a piece of shit. I don't know what
That's
else to
based
tell
off your
you.
opinion still.
Yeah,
You haven't
got
been
you,
able
got
to
you.
demonstrate that.
Is it objectively harmful to slap a baby?
Objectively harmful from my standpoint? Yes. Yours? No. You haven't been able to demonstrate
Why
anything
is it
so far.
objectively harmful to slap a baby?
Yeah, I have my own framework that I go off of.
Sure,
that is
you can tell me
objectively the case.
whatever your
You
framework
don't.
is. I don't care where you argue from.
Hey,
at this
look,
point.
I'm doing an
I
internal
want you to
critique
tell
on
me
you right now.
why
I
is it
understand that you
objectively
don't like
harmful
being
to slap a
questioned,
baby?
And you like these easy debates, but I came up here to actually challenge you.
Sure, Phil, bro.
and see
Why
what's
is it
happening.
objectively harmful to slap a baby?
Oh, I can demonstrate that after you concede to the point that all of this is based off your preference.
Again, you can quite literally argue anyone's positions and preferences. It's based off of
No,
fucking
that's
preference.
not the
You can
case.
make that
Like, certain-
argument for literally anything. We clearly
That's
have two
false.
different fucking definitions of objective here, because slapping a baby to you is harmful, but then watching someone die from an infection when you can give them appropriate care to save their life because you consider them less
No,
than,
see, the
that's not
difference here
objective.
is I
So
actually know how to
clearly we have
debate,
different
and when it
definitions of
comes
this.
to this,
I
here,
just
I can
want you to
demonstrate
tell
how there can
me
be
what is
objectively
objectively
harm,
harmful
Randy.
about slapping a baby.
Let me show you. Let me show you a simple argument that you can be
What
able
is
to use for
objectively
objective
harmful
harm.
about slapping
You
a
ready?
baby?
I got you. It could be the case that an individual subscribes to some type of deity, right? And they defined it to be this way. See, you on the other hand, you can't even give a simple argument. You have always
Okay, got you.
indexed this
So hold on.
to your
It's
preference.
objectively harmful to slap a baby only if you subscribe to a deity.
There's
And
other
the deity
frameworks
would
that you can go
determine
with,
that
but
being
obviously
harmful.
you don't know what frameworks there is.
I know exactly
So
what
let me
the
help you
framework
out,
is.
right? Utilitarians, but that's based off of preference. So yeah, it could very much only be God, or at the same time, like
What is your objective
solipsism,
basis
or
for it being
deism.
harmful to slap a baby?
Wait, why is it objectively
I
harmful?
said, what is your objective basis framework for it to be harmful to slap a baby? What
Yeah,
is
I've already given you one of them. I'm still waiting for you to
You did.
demonstrate something
You,
to
you
be
said I asked
objectively
what yours
harmful.
is. You said one of them is religion.
Yeah, I've also gave you two other ones, solipsism and at
And then
the
I
same time
simply
deism.
responded with the fact that you don't need a religion to tell you that it is objectively harmful to slap a baby.
Wait, then at that point, it's all based off of preferences and not.
Okay, and one prefers to go through it via religion. The fuck are you? What? You
Wait,
prefer to
if
subscribe
if
to
it is
religion
the
that tells
case,
you it's
let me just
objectively
show
harmful
you.
to slap a baby. That is your preference. And other
Wait,
people
hold up,
prefer
let me
to
demonstrate
define
for
their
this, because
morality
you
not
obviously
by
don't
a
know how to
deity
debate here.
from a book that is old as shit. That's all preference.
Wait, let me demonstrate this. Ready? If it is the case, right, there is one individual God, and they defined it to be this way, then at that point, it wouldn't be preference. It would be objectively the case. That's why I also
Objectively
gave you
to them.
solipsism
Hold on.
and deism.
Objectively to them, yes. If they decide to choose that there's only one God and that one God defines
No, I
morality for
understand that you
everyone,
didn't hear my
in their
statement.
mind,
Here, let me
that's all that they
read-
have to use.
let me
And then there's
give my
people
statement
outside of
against
that
you.
who would look at
If
you
there
and
is
say that it's
only-
subjective. If
let
you
me repeat
believe in
my
a big
statement to you,
fucking bang
because I
and the
understand you
Big
don't know how
Bang
to
created
debate here.
anyone,
If
and we
there
could
is
just look at an
only
innocent
one
baby
God-
and say, maybe I shouldn't slap an innocent baby because not because there's a God there that thinks it's wrong, but because that's an innocent fucking baby that I would be causing harm to, and it wouldn't make any sense unless I was some type of sadistic fuck. We can do that without some deity.
Okay, that's why I gave you two other frameworks, and I understand you didn't
And I asked you
understand
what
my
your
statement. Wait,
framework
hold
is.
up, let
And
me
asked
finish.
about you to give me others. That's what
I
yours
was
is.
quiet. Let me finish. And I understood, right, that you didn't understand my statement. If it is
I
the case
understand
that there is
every
only
single thing that you're
one
saying, and I've
God,
been asking
not
clarifications for everything
multiple.
you've been saying.
Huh?
I asked you to tell me what your framework is for saying
Yeah,
slapping a
I've already
baby is
given you one of
objective.
them.
You told, yes, I'm asking for yours. Is one of yours religious?
Is one of mine religious? That
Yes.
doesn't matter. I've already presented you an
No,
argument,
it
and you're
does.
deflecting.
Because it's the answer to my question.
Yeah, I go with objective here.
You
I
go with
with that
objective.
there's only one
Well, if
true
one
God,
of them
and
is
he
via
defined-
deity, that's not objective.
Yeah,
Are
wait,
you
hold up.
missing the
So would
points that I'm
deity
making
exist
here?
without a human state of mind present?
I'm sorry, what?
Would the deity, the God in question, exist without a human present? Yes or no?
Would the deity exist without a human present? No.
Yes or
Because
no?
then if
No,
you're
they
an
wouldn't. Prove that
atheist,
negative.
if you're an atheist, then you would believe that humans created the deity of a god and doesn't actually exist.
Wait, you're trying to deflect here and actually
I'm not.
answer
I just
the question.
did answer
yeah,
the
so
question.
prove that the
I
deity
literally
would
just
not
did answer
exist
the
without
question.
a human.
Prove that the deity would not exist without the human, there being no
Yep.
concrete evidence of a deity existing
Evidence
outside
is
of
based off
people's
of preference
personal
here.
feelings.
The negative here that you're going to have
Sure,
to demonstrate
sure.
is
Okay.
that the human in question created the
love
God
this.
that we subscribe
I
to.
absolutely love this. So again, if you believe that there's a deity up there that determines right from wrong, and this deity doesn't reveal itself, or it does in some people's dreams and
has.
stuff that can't be proven by any other metric other than word of mouth and a book.
Wait,
That's
he has
cool.
proven himself?
And then there's
Jesus?
other people. Yeah, I'm sure. To you, absolutely. And then there's other people who
No,
have
not
never
me.
felt it.
There's
They've
multiple
never seen
eyewitnesses.
examples of it that could be concretely proven that there was a God putting his
Concrete
hand
proven
down and
is still
controlling things,
preference-based
so
here.
on and
I
so
understand
forth.
that you
Then
don't
guess what?
know how to debate.
Oopsies, it's all subjective.
It's not subjective. Define subjective real
Your
quick.
belief is subjective.
Yeah, wait, define subjective real quick.
Subjective is selective.
Oh, wait, what is it?
It can be heavily based off of preferences and things that cannot be solidified as fact.
Oh, okay, so you obviously don't understand, right? It's going to be mind dependent, human state of mind present when it comes to
You took
subjective.
two words to say slightly change up exactly what the fuck I said. Mind dependent. I said if I said
okay,
it's
cool.
selective, who the fuck would be selecting it? Your
It
mind.
could be the
You
case
decided
in
to use
animal,
two
or
words
it could
to
be
say
some
what
type-
I said differently.
It could be some type of germ. It could be it could be animal, it can be germs, it can be multiple factors here. It doesn't have to only be the case for humans. So that's why we use the very precise words here.
How old are you, bro?
Yeah, that doesn't matter. I'm
I'm
23,
just curious.
24.
You're 23? Oh, that tracks. Are you a white man?
No, I'm not. I'm sorry to tell you.
You're what a what?
I'm not a white man. Sorry to tell you.
Sorry to tell you. What are you?
Yeah, I'm black. Can you demonstrate how I'm not black?
No, I can't, because I can't see you.
Oh, okay, cool. So then why are you laughing about that statement then?
Because if I had a nickel for every time a white man called in this line or requested up in the box and said that they were black, I don't think I would need to be doing this at all. I would be retiring off an island with
Wait,
Tupac or
you're
something.
proposing
It would be
something
great.
there that's just completely anecdotal, whatever the fuck. You can't demonstrate how I'm not black. Second of all, when it comes to the situation...
I'm not here to demonstrate how you're not black. I'm just giving you my subjective position based off of my subjective experiences that are used to make my a selective position, not selective position, to tell my subjective base that I don't think you're black.
Oh, okay. Are you able to prove that? Or is it just still preference?
I feel like I just said subjective.
Oh, okay, cool. As long as you can say, I can't prove this, and this is what I believe, and it's not the case.
Never mind. I kind of like this. You're funny.
I mean, you
First
don't know
you
how
were
to debate.
irritating, then I realized
It's
you
very
guys
simple.
are sad. This is actually kind of funny to me.
Yeah, it is sad, though, that you don't know how to debate.
Yeah, sure. So again, what is your basis for saying that objectively slapping a baby is wrong?
Yeah, I've already demonstrated with one of the arguments that was
Yeah,
presented.
you
and
gave
laughed
an
it off
argument
instead
and one of them
actually
is
giving me
religious, which
syllogism.
again could be subjective, which you know. So I'm now asking you to tell me what yours is. Because
It
if you're going to
wouldn't be
challenge
subjective.
mine, I want to know what yours is. I've already told you my position when it comes to why I would think it's objectively wrong to let an undocumented migrant
Wait,
die
you
and live
really
in such
didn't. You
detrimental
reflected.
positions in a detainment center. And then you then say, oh, it's not really objective. So then I'm asking you about a baby, and you have yet to articulate your position on why you believe
Wait, I
that
already
slapping a
demonstrated
baby is
this.
objectively wrong.
Yeah, I've already demonstrated this with the case, right? If there is only one God, and you were like, well, gods are created by the human state of mind without actually
I
giving
said an
ability to
atheist
them.
would believe
Where
that, yes.
God come from?
They
human
would
states of
believe
mind.
that
Are you able to
deities
prove that,
and
Bill?
gods are made up.
Wait, propose, right? Give me a syllogism of how gods are made up.
I'm sorry, I'm not here to argue that position because I'm agnostic.
Wait, yeah, you proposed something to be the case. I want the
Yes,
argument
I gave
for
an
it.
example of what a person would believe.
No, okay, cool.
And then
So
I told you that there is no empirical data to
demonstrate with
support
laws
the
of
belief
logic
system
here
of a
by a
God
P1, P2,
actually
then the
existing
conclusion.
and affecting our everyday lives.
Are you going to give me a P1, P2, then the conclusion of how gods are made up?
How gods are made up depends on
Yep.
several factors. It's just traced to
Do
not,
you know what a
them not
P1,
being
P2
existent.
conclusion is?
Yes,
Or
I
do
know
need
what
to
a
demonstrate
P1,
this?
P2. I don't think you realize what's happening. So let me help you out. I'm not allowing you to control this conversation in the way that you
Yeah,
want.
because you
with
already
your
ran
little
from the
script
initial
and
statement
your
made to you.
1 hour YouTube video that you went and watched on how to feel bro 101. I don't give a shit
No,
about
I've
any of
debated
that.
Destiny,
So I'm
I've
not
debated
I
Parker, I've
don't really
debated
give
a
a shit
lot
who
of
you've
bigger
debated.
people.
I
You're
really
just a
don't
simple
fucking
one,
care.
no.
Oh, do you? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Guys, he debated Destiny.
I've also debated Parker.
He debated
Dean,
Parker.
Hassan.
He probably debated Dean. Have you debated
Probably
Santana?
no, I just stated the fact that I have.
Have you debated Santana?
No, I've not.
What? Anyway, he's debated all of these people. Quivering in my boots. I've debated people.
Yeah,
you
you
think I
made
give a
the
shit?
statement here. I probably went and watched a 1 hour
Do you
video,
think
which
I give
this
a
would be
shit?
a false statement.
It's actually a compliment to me that you debated all these bigger creators, and for some reason you're sitting here talking to me as if I'm supposed to
Oh,
entertain
yeah.
your bullshit. Because I'm
see,
sure
I was
they
kinda
did.
bored.
I know
Yeah.
Parker is a really good person to like addressing you feel bros in all the ways that you like, and he studied this shit as well. I look at you all as you're the fucking morons that you are, and I just like trash you.
Morons?
That's
That's
what I do.
preference based again. I could just
Yeah,
state the
yeah.
fact that you're a moron.
Yes, I think you're a moron.
I think that's the whole fucking point. I've been demonstrating to you how all your statements here are based off of preference.
Oh,
Since the
as are
beginning,
yours.
unless if you want to demonstrate how
Crazy.
there's objective
We're
harm.
both just sitting here being subjective. Aw.
I've been demonstrating to you that all your statements that you've been making since the beginning, I think or I feel this way is preference. Do you
Yeah,
understand
yeah.
now?
Debbie's in the chat to Phil
Okay,
for the
cool.
$2 Venmo.
Can you demonstrate
Check
how there's
DC?
objective harm now?
What did I miss on DC? Is it the
Oh,
live
wait,
chat?
you misunderstood a lot because you were trying to give I feel like not bringing in a dentist to an ICE agent for like an ICE agency, whatever the fuck.
Sleep is a human right, and
Holding-
its deprivation is torture.
Not bringing in a
Well,
dentist
here's the thing.
for this
Here's the
individual
thing,
that got
my guy.
unalived.
If
is
I read
objectively
this,
harmful.
if I read this to him, this study that shows that sleep is a human right and its deprivation is torture,
Human rights are
he's
based off
just
of
going to
preference.
ask.
Demonstrate
He's just
human
going
rights
to ask,
exist
well,
without
who
human-
wrote this? How did they subjectively prove this? Blah blah blah. Like he doesn't fucking care. That's the point I'm trying to make. He doesn't actually fucking care because if you can tell me that slapping a baby is wrong, then you clearly have a basis for that, and that basis
Yeah, based
would
off of
quite
God.
literally correlate with my basis. But then you just be saying you prefer one or the other. You think one's more
No.
innocent the
God
other,
bless
and you
you.
have to deprive the human rights of one person to think that one's better over the other.
Human rights
Like,
are based
I
off
don't
of
know.
preference.
That doesn't
Demonstrate
change the
human
subject.
rights would exist without human.
But I think I will go over it a little bit, Phil. W's in the chat to you. W's in the chat to Maze for the $1 Venmo. Withholding life-sustaining resources from a living thing is objective harm. No, it's not, Maze. No, it's not. We should do it some more, and there should be no laws to protect it. Better yet, excuse me, laws don't even correlate with morality in any way, shape, or form. So what are we doing, right?
No, they're based off of
W's in the chat
individual
to you.
morality.
W's in the chat to Nina for the $5 Venmo. The Senate Judiciary Committee was notified of another unaliving in ICE detention today. That marks 18 this year. What? Fuck them. Fuck them. Why do we care? Why do we care about them, Nia? Why do we actually care that people are dying in these facilities? Why do we care that people are
Where do
watching
human
them
rights
die
come from?
and smiling?
Can you actually
That
answer
is
this question?
subjective.
Do human
It is
rights come from
subjective to
government?
sit there and think that. W's in the chat to you, Nina. And W's in the chat to Shauna
Hector,
for the 10.
Hector,
Has he
I
ever
understand
debated the
that
Sky
you're just
Daddy?
going off
Hey, bro,
because you don't understand
you did
debate.
talk about like
Let me
all the
keep it
people that
simple
you
for you.
debated. I have
Where
a
do
question for
human
you.
rights come
I have a
from,
question for
Hector?
you. Have you debated
Hector,
God?
Have I debated who?
God.
God? No. Why would I debate God?
Why not?
Because it would be objectively the case that he determines what is going to happen and not.
What?
Yeah, so when it comes to the situation, why would I debate God when it comes to objective facts?
He determines if you debate him?
No, I wouldn't debate God. He determines what is objective or not.
Got you. So you objectively wouldn't debate God?
Subjectively here.
Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you subjectively debate God?
Why wouldn't I? Oh, because he determines what is going to be objective and not. Morals come from him.
Okay, great. So I'm really glad you said that, because I just want to let you know this entire conversation has just been me filling in the blanks here. So, the reason why I asked you what your personal framework was for determining if it was wrong for slapping a baby is to see where you would base this on. And then you said one example I can give is from a deity. A deity you clearly believe based off of what you just said, because you said God determines this, that. So that's telling me that you believe in this deity. So you'd be some form of a Christian or faith-based believer. So glad. Thank you. Wonderful. I don't know why the fuck it took you so long to say that. Great. Cool. Whatever.
Because I was doing
so
internal
you believe
upon
that
you.
God determines
You
what is right and wrong. And without that determination from God, there is no right or wrong, and everything else is subjective, correct?
Yeah, it would be based off the
Wonderful,
individual preference.
fantastic,
Now, can you
thank you.
demonstrate where
So,
human rights come from?
can you sit here and objectively provide to me the existence of
Subjectively.
God? No, objectively, because objectively you believe in God, right?
Yeah, objectively.
And
he
objectively, God
Subjectively,
exists,
it's gonna be
right?
The action of me demonstrating.
Right? Objectively, he exists, right?
Objectively, he exists.
Okay, thank you.
Objectively, I'm
So since
demonstrating it. Do you
objectively
understand
he
this?
exists, I want you to objectively tell me your knowledge, share with me your knowledge on how he exists.
How he exists?
Yeah.
Oh, I got you. Ready? There's 3 logical outcomes for the Big Bang. Ready? One is that we pop into
Wait. I asked you about the Big Bang. There are people who don't believe in the Big Bang. You don't prove God's existence by debunking another thing. I need you to tell me how God exists.
Yeah, I got you. Ready? Let me demonstrate this. There's 3 logical possibilities. One, if you hold out your hand, will a chocolate bar appear in your hand out of nowhere? No. Okay, cool. So there's 2 other possibilities. One, it's going to be the case that an individual has to create this. We'll come back to that at a later time. The third one, the third logically possibility, are you ready for this? It's the case that the universe has enclosed on itself and created a new one. But when we look at the laws of logic here, the universe doesn't enclose on itself, it expands. So it's not that possibility either. The argument I just presented to you is the alien trichotomy. Do you understand this argument, or do I need to restate it?
I wasn't listening to half that shit you said. Restate it.
Okay,
W's in the
cool.
chat
You asked me to prove
to
it. I just gave you an
Mark
argument
for the
for
$5
it, and it's not like I
PayPal.
proposed something to
Although
you
I
today.
don't fuck with him like that, Hassan
God
doesn't do
bless you.
debates. Please make up better lies, caller. Did he say he
Hassan
debated
does
Hassan?
do debates.
I didn't. Okay, cool. Woo, wait, I debated Hassan. I'm cool or whatever. W's in the chat to you, Mark. W's in the chat to you. I appreciate your support. Thank you so much, Jane, for the sheep. I appreciate y'all. Guys, make sure we're continuing to tap the screen, share out the live, send your daily heart me's, hit that follow button in the top left corner. Links in the bio for the best way to support and knock out the next 27 here for the thing of the majiggy. Cool. So, what were you saying? That was completely
Yeah,
separate
I
from the
already
Big Bang?
showed you, and I gave you an argument presented in it too. It's the alien trichotomy argument. Do you understand this or no?
No, I didn't hear half of what you said in the alien
Oh,
trichotomy
okay,
argument.
cool. So why should I restate what I just did?
I mean, you don't have to, and I continue not to give a shit. It's entirely up to you.
Let me ask you a question because
I don't give a fuck what you do in this
question.
conversation. I don't give a shit. I really don't.
Okay, cool. Where do human rights come from?
Where do human rights come from? Well, that's subjective, right?
Wait, you were proposing this to your chat earlier. So where do human rights come from?
Where do human rights come from? So human rights is heavily subjective, based off of like state and
really
region,
is?
right? So if you're in the United States, we determine human rights differently from other countries, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the rest could just be, what I feel, right? But we can look
It
at
would be all based
we
off
can
of
look at
preference,
certain
yes.
things.
Thank you for realizing
Yeah,
it.
yeah, absolutely. And we can look at certain things such as murder, right? Outside of the realms of self-defense and otherwise, and we can look at that and universally say, oh, that's bad, and most countries have laws against that. And we can look at that to say that's a good, decent definition of how murder is wrong. Right?
Murder's based off of preference still because
Yeah. Murder's based off of preference. I know that. I know. Even God knows that.
Okay,
God
I just want you to
really
be
is
very
selective
precise
about
with your
murder.
words.
God looked at them firstborn babies back in the Bible when he was freeing the people of Egypt, right? Or the people, in the Israelites in the land of Egypt. And he was like, even though these firstborns aren't the captors of these people and they're innocent, I'm going to fucking kill them. And then I'm God and I'm all good, all knowing, all powerful. So me killing them is objectively not wrong because I'm God. I know. Listen, buddy. I understand what you're saying. I really fucking do. I really fucking
Obviously
do.
not.
I just want to point out the fact that if you're to sit here and have an argument with me about God determining what objective morality is, then I would tell you, fuck your God, because his objective morality is extremely questionable.
Based off of your preference?
Based off the example that I gave you, that he killed innocent firstborns who had nothing to do with the captivity of the people.
There could be an argument presented here. Well, if we look at that time and age and everything, most of these babies would have been unalive, so he could be removing them from one state and putting them into a better
What do you mean
state.
most of these babies would have been unalived?
Yeah, everyone gets unalived at some point.
Wait! Everybody better die. Niggas die every day, right? Niggas die every day. So what does it matter if I kill these niggas, right?
Wait, it could be that case where he didn't want them to see the harm that Egypt does to children.
Not TikTok giving me a harassment and bullying flag. Haha, boo.
Yeah, there's multiple
Fuck off,
arguments
TikTok.
that's presented. But human rights, are they based off the individual?
W's in the chat to Brianna for the donation. Please, Papa Hector, I can't take it. The stupid is going to rub off on us. W's in the chat to you. What were you saying, buddy? What did you say? I'm sorry.
You still haven't demonstrated how there's objective harm. You're proposing your morals to God. Second, when it comes to the situation, you're doing emotional fallacies in of itself, which, good thing I have apathy. I don't really give a fuck.
Yeah.
Second of
I know
all,
you don't give a fuck. Oh! Do you think I'm surprised by the fact that you don't give a fuck? Do you think this is my first time dealing with you film bro people? Do you think I don't understand the fact that every single thing you guys argue means absolutely nothing to you? That you're a bunch of heartless, soulless fucks trying to sit here and argue with me morality when ultimately you don't care who lives or dies and you don't care if your God determines it so based off of nothing? You think that is surprising to me, buddy? You must think this is my first rodeo. Let me tell you something. I've been doing this shit for a year and a half. I go back and forth with you guys at least once a week. And I can tell you for a fact that you are the scum of the
learn how
earth,
to
buddy.
debate based off of them.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah,
So
maybe you will.
So back to your God here.
You still,
do you think it's moral?
Wait, hold up. I just want
Do
to be
you
able
think that
to
it's actually
human rights
is
are
it
based off of
objectively
different societies and
moral?
preferences, right?
Is it objectively moral for a son to pay for the sins of the father?
Objectively moral?
Yeah.
The sins of the father? No.
Why is that?
Why is that? Different arguments can be presented, right? It comes down to the dogma you want to subscribe to.
Very true. So which argument are you going to use to justify the fact that God created Adam and Eve and let two stupid people who couldn't stay away from one fruit damn entirety of humanity?
Damn the entire of humanity? You would have to demonstrate that.
Every single human afterwards was born into a world of sin, right?
Wait,
famine,
so that's still based off of preference.
death.
You're going to have to demonstrate it.
Oh, got you.
outside of
It's my preference that death and famine and storms are bad. Yeah.
Okay, so that is still your preference. Okay, cool.
Absolutely.
Can I get an argument outside of
prefer
preference?
not to die. I prefer not to starve. I prefer not to be swept up by a tornado.
Yeah, there's music blasting.
What?
Yeah, there's music blasting. Can you turn that off?
I don't hear any music. I hear you.
Okay.
Do you think famine is a preference?
There's music blasting. I'm trying to tell you.
I couldn't hear you clearly, my bad.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're recording it. I hope you get hundreds of thousands of views on it.
I mean, I only got 68K followers. It's not that big.
Cool. You're doing more than me, man, so you're doing all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you learn how to debate. One day you'll learn.
Yeah, sure. Brianna is the one who sent the final 27 to kick him. W's in the chat to Shauna for the $5 Venmo. This entry level Phil bro is annoying as fuck. W's to you. W's in the chat to Boogie for the 22 for the boot. W's to y'all. W's to y'all. Guys, let me be clear. I've been doing this for a year and a half. And you know why I actively refuse to do Philosophy 101? Because I don't fucking care. I don't fucking care. I don't care to sit here and go back and forth with someone on what's moral, what's not, especially when it's all based off of a deity that is the one of the most cruel, inhumane Listen, okay, you know what? Apologies to the Christians. I'm about to piss y'all off. One of the most cruel, inhumane motherfuckers to ever allegedly exist. Okay? Those of you who are Christians, who you subscribe to the words of Jesus and treating people right and trying to live a clean life, W's to you guys. You Old Testament motherfuckers can get fucked. Because the beginning, literally was just talking to a friend of mine about this the other day. Okay? We were talking about, because I was raised in 7-day Adventism. And in 7-day Adventism, they heavily subscribe to the teachings of the alleged prophet Ellen G. White. Ellen G. White, those of you who don't know who she was someone chosen in the 1800s, basically to usher the new generation of what Christians should go by. Okay? Ellen G. White wrote a book called The Great Controversy. The Great Controversy describes the fall, the war in heaven. And in the war in heaven, if you are familiar with the story via the Great Controversy, the prophet of God, Lucifer wanted to be like God. This is somewhat in the Bible too. Lucifer wanted to be like God. There was a whole war. He was cast out. Now, what I was taught, I was having this discussion with my friend who was taught the same, is that before or after Lucifer was cast out, the earth was created. Okay? The earth was created after Lucifer was cast out. But the Great Controversy also talks about the fact that space is real, which is funny. But space is real. They don't deny space. And that there are other realms and other planes of existence with other beings and life forms. So basically aliens. That's what's confirmed in this book. And me and my friend were talking, and he's the one who actually brought this up to me, because again, I don't give a shit about none of this. He said, how did an all-loving, all-knowing, all-powerful God send out this evil being who almost ruined heaven out into space to go tamper with other realms of existence? Or B, send him to Earth, the new world, the new planet that you created, to start over in a sense. Perfect beings, right? Adam and Eve, perfect beings, no sin, no nothing. You allow this evil creature who you just cast out of heaven to go to your new plane of existence, your new creation, and fuck them up. You put one tree in this garden, okay? And apparently this tree looked delicious as fuck. You said, I gave you the world. Just don't eat from that tree. And then Eve got curious, because as far as I'm concerned, Eve ain't a bad person for looking at that one tree and getting curious, but it is what it is. You gave Eve this one tree, and you said, the one tree, don't eat from the tree. Eve said, I'm gonna eat from the fucking tree because a talking snake told me that I should. And then Adam comes around with his happy horny ass, and because he don't have a brain for himself because men are controlled by their dicks, he said, man, I gotta eat from this too, otherwise I ain't gonna get no more. So then that nigga eats from the tree. And bam, sin enters the world. Everything's fucked. Every single person afterwards born has to suffer for the actions of two fucking people. At that point in time, you could have eliminated those people and started over again. But you didn't. You let it keep going. Fast forward to the flood. Everything is so evil because of the actions of two stupid people that you have to kill everyone with a big whooshing wave. Big whooshing wave. And bam, they're gone. Okay? Okay, they're gone. The world starts over with the family of Noah, two of every animal. Somehow, some way, them motherfuckers turn evil again. Again! And we're back in the same boat. And he said to me, and mind you, this is someone who is still religious, someone who believes in God, he just questions the text and stuff. This man said to me, either God is not as smart as he says he is, he's not as powerful as he says he is, or he's just a sadistic fuck. It's like watching someone play The Sims, okay? And there's people who go into The Sims to actually build a beautiful life, who to actually like have fun and maybe live out their fantasies of actually surviving in an economy because it's hard to do it out here. Those people, right? And then there's the people who play The Sims and mod it out just to watch their Sims kill each other. And I know these people. People who mod the fuck out of The Sims to allow things like Texas Chainsaw Massacre and demons to come up and swallow people and all this stuff. Those fucking people. And if God exists, God would be that fucker. God would be the fucker who just playing The Sims, us, for shits and giggles, who gets off unharmed. That is my belief. Now again, to the Christians. Let me dial it down because I am a religious-friendly person. I really am. I am a religious-friendly person. I really am. And I believe in a lot. I have very good friends that are Christians. And these are people who can at least look at the Old Testament and say, God was wilding the fuck out a little bit. And it makes sense, right? It makes sense. God was, cold turkey, super tough, super rude. And then his son came and it softened him up. That's very reflective of the human experience. And we were made in the image of God, right? So that makes sense. God had a son and God was like, man, I can chill out a little bit. I'm going to kill this nigga so I can save people, but I'm going to chill out a little bit. I was doing a little bit too much in that first version, in the first version, okay? And then bam, we have the Jesus that we have now. He said, love people, dismantle this, tax the rich. Oh, man. Anyway, let me get off my soapbox. The moral of the story is don't talk to me about morality when yours comes from God. Don't fucking talk to me about morality when yours comes from God. Don't do it. Don't do it. Trump supporters request up in the box. You're the demographic of people I'd like to have a conversation with. If you're over on the tube side, you can call the number on screen, 737-295-5321. And another thing, because why not? And another thing. Notice how so much of the Bible is written for men, essentially. Is written for men, essentially. Eve gets all the shit for eating the fruit. And then Adam comes in, and then literally I've talked to people, religious people, who will dog shit Eve and be like, this is why God puts in all these extra rules for women, because of Eve. Okay. So where was man's punishment for being so weak-willed that he ate it with her? They're both on the same playing field. One was, in fact, I think Eve looks better than Adam because one was just curious and one was just weak. One was curious, one was weak. I'll take the curiosity. Curiosity kills the cat. It's unfortunate. But one who was supposed to be better and more superior, right? He was above the woman as determined by creation. You couldn't even say no. You couldn't say no. You couldn't be like, nah, fam. And then, he would have just struck Eve and then you would just got somebody else. Guys, imagine a world where God just said, she's the only one who fucked up. Let me just take her out. Let me plant a new one there. We'll call her Evelyn. We'll call her Evelyn. Problem solved. We'll try again. But nah. Anyway. Hey, very shallow understanding of biblical theology. Sure. Listen, the call-in number is open and the request box on TikTok is open. If you would like to call in and tell me how I'm shallow for saying God allowed two people to damn the entirety of humanity, by all means, tell me. Prove me wrong. Make me a believer. Make me a believer. If you're not going to do that, then just allow me to say you have a right to believe whatever fairy tale you want to believe, and I have a right to tell you, nah. Okay? I think that's fair. Guys, if you're not following me, hit that follow button in the top left corner. We are live every Saturday after 3 p.m. CST and randomly throughout the week. Share out the live with your friends and family. Repost, add to your story. Knock out the rose goals. We need 100 more of those. Continue to push us out in the FYP, get us out in the algorithm. And of course, check out the links in the bio for the best ways to support the platform. Whether it's following me on all social media platforms, such as YouTube that we're doing streaming to right now, or Instagram, where I also post the videos. Joining the Discord community, to which we're over 700 members strong, getting yourself some merchandise off the merch shop at hectorshops.com with 2 R's, and donating directly to the links in the bio if for some reason you just love to hear me ramble for the last 10 fucking minutes. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Hector Talks with 2 R's and Cash App and Venmo. And PayPal, Hector Pal with 2 O's and 2 R's. If you're over on the Tube side, you may send a super chat or a super sticker. The One Mighty Pen, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. You got to finish that quote. Curiosity killed the cat, but satisfaction brought him back. I actually didn't know that was a full quote. I'm learning something today. I thought somebody said Adam the first simp. To be fair, I don't agree or subscribe to like simp terminology, because basically how these red pill fuckers determine what a simp is anyone who respects women. Let's keep it a buck. But in the context of that comment and joke, that's fucking funny. That was fucking funny. Why don't we hear these Bible thumping right wing podcasters talk about that? I want to see a new podcast by a right wing creator, a red pill motherfucker, and the title is Better Than Adam. Better than Adam. That's what I want. In fact, I'm going to put you right wingers on some game. I want to put you right wingers on some game. Start a podcast, name that shit Better Than Adam, okay? Your entire basis is being like, yo, we're just going to have fun. No one's calling and requesting up. I'm going to have some fun now, okay? I am now going to imitate a right-wing podcaster. I'm here to tell you guys something that you've never been told before. Something that the establishment churches will never tell you. Something that Trump will never tell you. We were told that we were the leaders, that we run everything, that we're the superior gender. And that we were given an example of that superiority in the form of a man, the perfect man, Adam. But I'm here to debunk the lies. And the lies are, Adam was the biggest simp known to man. Let me tell you why. Your girl comes home. She says, I want something to eat. You tell her, get in the kitchen and cook it. And she says, I'm not the only one who's supposed to be in here cooking. You can come help me out, you know. Maybe we can share the load like a regular relationship. Would you look at her and say, you got a point, thank you so much. I believe relationships and duty should be reciprocal. Fuck no! You tell that woman to get her lazy ass in the fucking kitchen, otherwise she's gonna be out on the street. But why is it that when it came to Adam, the best man, the perfect man, and he looked at Eve who had the fruit he knows God said, don't fucking eat. He looked at her and she said, but I ate it and I'm fine. And you did not let those words ring in your head. You let that woman deceive you and give the world the biggest L. My mama died because of Adam. There was no death before Adam. And because you couldn't control yourself, you let a woman win. Real men don't let women win. Therefore, we got to be better than Adam. I don't know. Mind you, that's a rough draft. If I was to, I'm feeling messy. If I was to sit down and really type up a script, like put my brain to actually like do like a script like I do in my videos, I could sell this shit. I swear to God, I could sell this shit, bro. I could sell this shit, bro. That's gonna be the next troll account. Better Than Adam. That's a good idea. I'm gonna name myself Better Than Adam. I'm gonna go into religious lives and I'm gonna tell them. I'm going to only join the men ones. I'm going to go into male lives and I'm going to tell them, y'all are simps. Every single person who supports religion or supports God supports simping. Because this translates over to God. Then you can go, and then you have to ask yourself, because to be fair, he's a human, I guess. The perfect man, but he's a human. If you have to ask yourself, who would create a perfect man that can fall so easily? If you went to your friend to do some work on your car, and the second you drove it out the lot, your car's broke down, would you look at your friend's work and say that he's good? No, you wouldn't. You tell that friend that he did a shitty job. You tell that friend that he wants his money back. So why is it that we don't tell God that he failed? You got to think about it. Think, Sigmas, think! The crazy part is there's some truth in everything I just said. Andrew Wilson is calling you right now. man. Anyway, I've had my fun. Guys, we're about 9 minutes away from the 3-hour mark. Should we do a restart? Or should I call it here? Should we do a restart or should I call it here? Rough draft, you say? What would be the thesis statement? Can I be the co-host? Listen. I got better things to do than do that bullshit. I think there's a reason why I'm not rich. I'm working on it. There's a reason why I'm not rich. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. If I was rich and I just had disposable income to do some bullshit, I just get up to some bullshit. I do shit for the fuck of it. Too bad I'm too busy building generational wealth. If I wasn't too busy building generational wealth, I'd just be doing bullshit. I'll be like, what the fuck is wrong with Hector? What is he live about today? What is he trolling on today? Make it make sense. Literally, I'm telling you, I could start a cult. And I think I do a damn good job at it. It's not hard. Especially considering that I was MAGA. I know what to say. Side quest like Jack Black. We're going to do a poll. Because on one hand, it's already 6. Yeah, we'll do a restart. Enzo's live right now with Millie. It's a nightmare. Yeah, I don't care about them. I care about your mental health, though. Restart. Yeah. And even if I did, it would only be for like another hour, baby. Should I? We can start a church tax-free. Yeah. Hector, you flipped? Yeah. I was MAGA, Kyra. Up until, I would say, 2021. I was MAGA until 2021. It was a phase. I think I'm gonna let y'all vote. You're most likely gonna say yes, but I'm gonna let y'all vote on this restart. But I do want to make it clear, it won't be for long. We probably won't be on here for another hour. Because I did say about something else, 7 the latest. So smiley face for restart, frowny face for no. Smiley face for the restart, frowny face for no. I need to know why you were MAGA. I was stupid. Obviously, the answer is much deeper and more intricate than that. But I was stupid because that's what it took me to get out of MAGA. One of the most humbling things anyone can experience. And one thing I will say about myself when I never really got to this point, I was always curious. The problem is I didn't have the right people around me to give me something, to give me an alternative to what I believed. And then when I started to get into those spaces and ask more questions, things changed. One of the most humbling experience a human being can go through is believing a bunch of stuff for a long period of time, like dying and swearing on these hills. And then the first pop-up on Google debunks you. It's like going your entire life believing 2 + 2 = 5. And then one day you decide to whip out a calculator. And then you do it in there and you show it's 4. And for a second, you don't believe it. You think, how could I have been wrong for so long? Blah, blah, blah. But then you fill out the equations, you double check some things, and you go, oh shit, 2 + 2 = 4. And I believed this for, at that point in time in my life, 21 years. 21 years I believed 2 + 2 = 5. I had people tell me that 2 + 2 = 5. Even went as far as to say, hey, if you don't believe 2 + 2 = 5, you're going to fucking hell. But then everything around you shows that it's 4. So then you decide to explore some other things. Like, is the earth flat? And everything around you is showing that it's flat, and the people that say it's not talk out of their ass. Well, the best they have is a book, an old book written by old men. And then you go, wonder what else? How many holes are below a woman's waist? And you say 2. And you were told it was 2. And there was only 2 you had to worry about. Then you come to find out it was 3. And you're like, ah, shit. It's one of the most humbling fucking things, bro, to realize how dead wrong you are. I didn't even want to go out in public after that. That's a large portion of why I moved from Kentucky. I legitimately wanted to start over. And that's exactly what the fuck I did when I moved out here. Legitimately wanted to start over. I felt stupid. I felt fucking stupid, bro. Like, And this is why I think, and this is why I say, and this is why I sell merch that says it's okay to call people stupid. Sometimes you need to hear it. Sometimes you need to hear it. Sometimes you need to be put on your ass and you grow from there. I don't do all this nice shit. This is one thing I somewhat disagree with like lefties about. Everyone wants to go about love and peace and joy. Some people, unfortunately, are too conditioned to respond to kindness, to respond to civility. Some people only learn things one way. If I didn't get it the harsh way that I did, I would not be here. And I'm not advocating for y'all to pull some whiplash on everybody that you know. If you know, you know. It's a great movie from 2014 with J.K. Simmons. I'm not telling everyone to go whiplash on people. I'm simply saying certain people respond to certain things. I needed that. I needed that to get out of that little phase that I was in. And I'm all the better for it. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and do this restart. I see you, Kyra, but we're going to go and do this restart. I will be back in about 60 seconds. Go YouTube, you'll be fine. You'll stay right there. But TikTokers, go watch my latest video. I uploaded about a day ago, 2 days ago. It's about 2 minutes. Go watch that. By the time you're done, you come back. We will be back. And we'll see. I just wanted to tell you, you're still saying it wrong. What am I saying wrong? I don't know. I don't care. All right. We're going to be right back, guys. We're going to be right back. Come back in 60 seconds. Let's see. How you guys doing over there on YouTube? Some nuts you can eat by hand, some you need to crack. True. I'm telling you, bro, I was a hard-headed person. And it wasn't all my fault, but I was a hard-headed person. There are certain things you just weren't going to get across to me by saying it nicely. Especially, and this is another issue with like the manosphere and everything else, when they pride themselves on strength, which is often in the forms of aggression, being mean, being stern, being ignorantly confident. All those things go along the lines of the patriarchy. So it's just, yeah, there's certain ways I was only going to learn. And that was going to be through a stupid social media post that I made. I made a stupid social media post on Facebook and people came from my ass, bro. They came from my ass. And then I actually started to think. I've told this story a few times, but I know some of you guys are new. Those of you over on the YouTube side, make sure you hit the like button on the stream. Hit the like button on the stream. Also consider becoming a subscriber if you like the things that we're doing over here. Turn on notification bells. If you like to support the platform, there's going to be the link in the description of this live stream. Or better yet, you can send a super chat or a super sticker. Thank you, Samuel, for the stars or jewels. We back. Just for another hour, roughly. When is Erica going live? I'm curious. I want to point out the fact that the reason why that last guy was avoiding the fuck out of telling me where he based his belief off of on what objective harm is because, and this is another thing I think is dishonest about a lot of faith-based people. Just be honest about where your belief is. You can be honest about the fact that there are things you can look back on in the Old Testament and say that shit was fucking dark. And that shit wouldn't line up to what we would consider good today. And the best argument you can pull up is it's God, so he can do it, since he determines what's good and what's wrong. I would rather, like Christian Trump supporters specifically, just say that versus gaslighting us. I would much rather you guys say that. With that being said, welcome back into the live. Defend the Indefensible, episode 67. Were you conservative prior to 2016? So in terms of politically, no. Just as like conservative leaning and just traditional, yes. Yes, I was basically raised that. My parents aren't political. They're more conservative and just regular life versus politics. They don't vote and stuff, and that's what I grew up in. The best of all time. Sure, you can tell me about it. Again, we're not doing chirpers, bro. We're not doing chirpers. Double tap the screen to the hard bar gets full. We are looking to speak to Trump supporters who regret their vote. Welcome into the Defend the Indefensible. This live is a safe space for you to come up here and express why you regret your vote. What exactly got you up off the MAGA plantation? What exactly made you realize that the Trump administration is one of the worst things that could have happened to this country in recent decades? If you're one of those people who have the position that he has failed us immensely, that he has walked back his campaign promises, that he's doing things that is contradictory to what he ran off of, this live is a safe space for you to come up here and tell me exactly what bothered you, what exactly got you moving from the direction of him to the center, for all I care, but to the right side of humanity. Call in the number on screen, 737-295-5321 for those of you over on the YouTube side. And if you're over here on the TikTok side, you may request up in the box. And if you are a Trump supporter who does not regret their vote, you think he's doing a good job, you think the people who have said they regret their vote and they've taken away the support from him, the likes of Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, what's the name of that white woman that has her own show now? Shoot, why am I blanking on her name? I'm blanking on their names. All these prominent conservative figures, even Nick fucking Fuentes of all people. Megyn Kelly, thank you so much, Monica. Megyn Kelly, if you're one of those people who thinks that those are the sellouts, those are the people who don't understand the mission, they don't understand the assignment, and if you believe that they're wrong and you have no reason to regret your vote, you may request up in the box because I can give you several reasons as to why you should. I talked yesterday about the fiscal irresponsibility of Trump's immigration process. We went over the names of two individuals, one in the state of Texas, who was the only certified interpreter of 3 different languages, one being Punjabi, in the state of Texas, and how she was detained by ICE because she had a withholding of removal order that was put in the early 2000s, and they said that that wasn't enough to not deport her. Despite the fact that this woman has no criminal record, that she's been serving the Texas state courts. She's literally in the Texas government working on behalf of translating immigration cases. She would be helping fast track the process for determining who should be here and who should not. That is her literal job, and translating over the words for these individuals and their lawyers, and they detained her. And then there's the two young men from the Republic of Congo who switched schools. They came in through a student visa. They just switched schools. And ICE or the DHS could have just made a phone call. Hey, you switched schools. Your student visa was based off of this school. You need to update your information. Instead, they decided just to go and get them up out of there. We spent money doing this over making phone calls. Like, I really need people to understand, while they're complaining about SNAP benefits and waste, fraud, and abuse, we're wasting money taking actions that don't need to take place. If we want to talk about efficiency and fiscal responsibility, it should be across the board. Why jump to here when we can start here? Why make a mountain out of a molehill when we're about $40 trillion in debt? Doesn't make any sense. Withholding of removal actually means can't deport. Yeah, or specifically, you cannot deport to the country that they would have came from. And then the arguments that the Trump administration keeps making is that they'll deport them to a different one, which is still fucking stupid to me. If there's a reason why you can't deport them here, then what would be your basis for deporting them somewhere else? Especially if they're working here, they're contributing here, they're paying taxes here. Doesn't make any sense. And that withholding of removal comes with a status to work. So you're legally authorized to be here, which means you would be paying taxes. I believe federal taxes you would be paying because you have that legal authorization. Make it make sense. We're literally looking at people who are doing absolutely nothing harmful to America, and we're saying they need to go. Friendly reminder that the woman in Texas, brown Latino woman, the 2 young boys from the Congo, give me examples of these cases with full-blown European white men, and we can have a conversation about how this administration isn't a white supremacist, white nationalist administration. It does speak for itself. It does speak for itself. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I read the story the other day. I got pissed off because, again, I actually didn't even know this because they specifically came in on a student visa, and I didn't even know it was that detailed to where you have to, like, transfer over. You can't just go to a different school because your paperwork shows one. So there would be an error there. But in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, okay, simple fix. Now, it's one thing if you call them and they're not going to school. If they're out gallivanting and gangbanging, then by all means, we can deport the fuck out of them. I don't care. But they were working. They were trying to get an education here. They were trying to get in our workforce. They were trying to contribute. Why are we punishing people who for wanting to contribute over a minor issue with a visa? It doesn't make any sense. We're losing money with this draconian policy. Make it track. Make it track. Any case, Trump supporters are crossed up in the box. You are the demographic of people I'd like to have a conversation with. If you're over on the tube side, you can call the number on screen, 737-295-5321. We should have deported Musk for a fraudulent school visa. He never went to school. He didn't? In the United States? In the United States? Hold on. Let's see here. No, he did. He did. Yeah, he went to UPenn. It's been 2 years. Oh, so he transferred from Canada to UPenn in 1992. Graduated 2 bachelors, economics and physics. Yeah, he went to school. Did he drop out of Queen's University? But that was in Canada. He graduated from UPenn in the United States. It was in Pennsylvania. Yeah. In Pennsylvania. Moved to California for a PhD in applied physics and materials. Student use years. He went to Stanford for a PhD in 95. Okay, guys. So it's Stanford that he left. It was Stanford that he dropped out of. He left after 2 days. But then he would have finished up in UPenn. Yeah, so he did go to school here. Yeah, because the basis of his transfer from Canada, I guess through his student visa, was directly to UPenn. I'm not sure where the discrepancy would have been in terms of his time at UPenn and then his transfer to Stanford. But yeah, he finished school. But I mean, I get the point that you're making. If we're to say that one little error is a reason for deportation, then yes, Elon Musk shouldn't be here. I get what you're saying. Absolutely. If we're following that line of logic, Elon Musk should have never even been allowed to graduate. Can you look up if he got a work visa after he finished school? Yeah. Let me see. No. He was working here in the U.S. illegally because he did not get his work visa on time. Yeah. And what they're saying is, so they're saying dropping out should have invalidated his student visa, even though he followed up later with graduating from UPenn. When he dropped out, it should have been null and void. So yeah. He quite literally launched his career in the United States illegally. Now, if you're to ask me if I'm supposed to care about that stupid tiny little discrepancy, no, I don't. But to the Elon Musk suck-offs, then that's a real conversation that needs to be had. Are you going to say because he's Elon Musk and he's the great superpower that he is now, that you don't care as much about it? Sure, no problem. And since you guys like to argue the potential for life in regards to abortion, I can now argue the potential for Elon Musk in the average undocumented migrant. You know, whenever you guys look at those undocumented migrants for little errors with their paperwork, what if we're deporting the next Elon Musk? Because that's what they say, right? What if we're aborting the next Ben Carson or Barack Obama? What if we're deporting the next Albert Einstein? Oh, man. I love to flip their own arguments on their head. I'm not going to lie. It's pretty fun. Yeah, Trumpophobes come from the guy whose name is literally Trump Troll 2024. Shut up, Trump Troll. Trump supporters request up in the box. Or call the number on screen, 737-295-5321. That's what y'all need to do. We're not doing the keyboard warriors anymore. Not doing it. Has there been another WGF blow up? What is that? I don't know what WGF is. What is WGF? Pretty sure he didn't get a non-student visa. No. The student visa was the only one he had, which should have been... Oh! The White Guilt Fund is always open. The White Guilt Fund is always open. Always open. Imagine a country so great, even the people who hate it refuse to leave. Oh, that's cute. I love how people think that most people are confined to the United States because they want to be here. I know quite a bit of people, particularly on the left, that have not wanted to be in this country for some time, especially after 2024. But it takes money and means to leave. What a weird argument you guys keep making. What if we just walked around telling Trump supporters during the entirety of Biden's administration, if you don't like the president, just leave? It's fucking stupid. Big W's in the chat to Wakandan for the $20 super chat. Conservatives are as serious about fiscal responsibility as they are about sniffing their hand after not wiping. If they were serious about it, they'd investigate an unacknowledged special access program. W's in the chat to Wakandan. W's in the chat to Wakandan. I appreciate your support. One thing about Wakandan, he gonna tell y'all to wipe. He gonna tell y'all to wipe. You can take your TikTok panhandling money and it should be enough to leave. Sure. You first. You first. Tell you what. Let me help you guys out. If you want my whiny, cryberry, liberal, leftist black ass to leave the United States, the links are in the bio. Please help me panhandle. Let's go to the panhandle fund. And once I get the adequate amount to go immigrate to another country that is apparently more consistent than this one, I'll let you know. Criticizing your country, wanting better for your country, is the true definition, or one of the true definitions, of being a patriot or an American. You guys and your blind loyalty to one man over the founding document doesn't track very well. I'm more of a patriot than the average Trump supporter ever dreams to be, because now one president can come in and make me completely reconsider the values that were enshrined in the Constitution. None of it. I'm going to live in Ghana this year. W's to you, Cecile. I have a mutual on here, Dr. Keisha Davis. She talks about her Ghana trip. She has a couple of videos on her profile. She talks about her Ghana trips. It's beautiful over there. It is amazing over there. They think patriotism and American exceptionalism are the same thing. Yeah. Hey, so you may be new to this. We are no longer doing keyboard warriors. So any comment that you make, especially when you want to spam it, Joe Friday, will be muted. There's a call-in line where you can give me all of this information. How about that? Also, I'm probably going to end in a couple of minutes if we don't get anyone, so whatever. Every Trump appointment is willing to rewrite the Constitution. Yeah. The most blatant example being the fact that they want Donald Trump to run for a third term. They want him to be able to run for a third term. He's not shut down the idea of running for a third term. The likes of Steve Bannon are still talking that, using that talking point. Can you fucking imagine? Can you imagine Trump for another 4 years after 2028? Obama had his third term? What the fuck are you talking about, Reggie? You can come up here and tell me how Obama had a third term. Please do. Please come up here and tell me how Obama had a third term. What a stupid fucking comment. Do you guys even try before you make your comments? Do you even attempt? Trump can't even stay awake. Oh yeah, I know. Job chapter 14 verse 1. What is that? 14. Um. Man that is born of a woman is of few days and full of trouble. Damn. 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 I mean, you had me in the first half of the man part. And I guess, well, yeah, I mean, I'm trying to figure out if this is more so an indicator of just the human nature. I guess they're trying to say they're inherently like sinful or whatever. Or they're just using this to like dig a woman. Like, I think it's more so trying to show like the significance or insignificance, for that matter, of human life. Versus a dig. Oh yeah, because this is Job. Because context matters. Hold on. Context matters. What's the next verse? He cometh forth like a flower and is cut down. He fleeth also as a shadow and continueth not. And dost thou open thine eyes upon such an one, and bringest me into judgment with thee? Who can bring a clean thing out of an unclean? Not one. Oh yeah. Got you. Context shows Job is saying niggas ain't shit. Job is just saying niggas ain't shit. So the first verse was kind of weird. The rest of this is the context. Job is just saying niggas ain't shit. Job is not lying. Niggas, wiggers, and latigas, they ain't shit. They watching your phone? Okay. Sure. Sure. They're tapped into everything else. They are tapped into everything else. It is what it is. Alrighty. We're going to do a final call. Did you take your ashwagandha today? I did, actually. That's why I didn't fully crash out. I got hype, but I didn't really crash out today. Ashwagandha's doing its work today. I'm going to do this final call, and then we're going to wrap it up here. Because typically I stop at the 3-hour mark. But I was going to see what else we can get. But I think the Trump supporters are too chicken shit at this point. While they're watching, they should follow and subscribe. 6,000%. Trump supporters, this live is for you. Defend the indefensible. If you are a Trump supporter who regrets your foes specifically, this live is a safe space for you to come up here and express exactly what made you get up off the MAGA plantation with minimal judgment, whether it was his social media posts or his policies or his directives with executive orders or his history even, which apparently a lot of you guys are now becoming aware of. This live is a safe space for you to come up here and express what exactly did you in. And if you are a Trump supporter who does not regret their vote, you can request up in the box as well, because I can give you several hundred reasons as to why you should. Call in the number on screen, 737-295-5321, or request up in the box. I didn't like it. I only opened one bottle. You can have the other two. Do you want 2 free sealed Goli ashwagandha? You didn't like ashwagandha? I don't think ashwagandha tastes weird. Not the Goli brand either. It's delicious. What didn't you like about it? And I swear on some ashwagandha. I think that shit does amazing work. I know it has for me. I know it has for me. I love me some ashwagandha, bro. I have long COVID. My body reacts weird. Ah, I see. That makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, I love me some ashwagandha. Honestly, they should sponsor me because I'm always talking about it. I'm actually considering getting a stronger dose. The batch that I have right now is like 700 milligrams. And I'm not going to lie, some days I feel like I need to double it. But I'm also too scared to try. I think Phil sent me a link, or someone sent me a link to like a 2100 milligram ashwagandha. That would be triple what I'm taking right now. I'm too scared to try that shit. I feel like if I take that, I'm gonna be on live being like, Man, why you like Trump, man? Why you like Trump, man? Now, let's not do that, man. I feel like I would just be dead inside. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Not gonna happen. I prefer THC9. Oh shit, I'm not even supposed to say that on live. Yeah. Helps with my menopause. W. I know we got the Mary Jane folks. Erica, I prefer T.O. Julio 500 milligram. I'm already dead inside. It's crazy. I'm already dead inside. It's crazy. Who can we raid? Let's see who we can raid here. Oh, Queen. Hands down. We're going to raid Queen. I don't know if she's live on YouTube. We'll see in a second. We'll see in a second. Or Queen V. You guys know so many queens. Queen V. Queen V Lee. That's who we're going to raid. Let me find out who we're going to raid over on the YouTube side. Who is live? Y'all stick around for a moment. I'm just going to find out who we're going to send you to next. And they may be having better luck than me. I got shit to do. Let's see. It looks like Mia's going to go live. It's scheduled, but she's not live yet. So, I don't know. Go raid the two big white boys, Parker or Dean. Go raid them. Whichever one of them are live. Go raid them over on YouTube. I don't have any of my mutuals on here. Appreciate you YouTubers for showing up today. Thank you guys so much for your engagement, your likes, your shares, your comments, your subscriptions, your notification bells, your super chats, your super stickers. Big W's to you guys. Thank you so much for being here. I will see y'all tomorrow. I think tomorrow we're going to try an earlier live. Probably no later than 1-2. I say that now, but don't hold me to it. We're going to shoot for it. So I'll catch you guys for tomorrow's stream, and we'll see what kind of chats we can get going then. All right, W's. I'll catch y'all later, YouTube. And for the